We're live. What's going on there? All right, good evening, everybody. How are you? Awesome. So this is my favorite part of every meeting, but tonight is even more special to me for a number of reasons, and I'm going to tell you all of them. The first, could I introduce you? Mayor Nick, come join me for a moment. Let's get, yes. A proud fourth grade student at Howard Drive Elementary, Nick Glass. So Nick is mayor for the day. It's actually mayor for a few hours because that's all most people could tolerate, right? I'm kidding. And he's, listen, he is a quick study. His dad has joined us this evening. I know his mom is in Tallahassee right now, hopefully watching on Facebook. You'll have to check with her a little bit later, right? And can I get you to tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name is Nick. I play flag football, and I'm in fourth grade.
All right, you're hired. You're on the council now, for sure. Tonight we're going to try something a little bit different. We have our timers. We have passed a resolution or an ordinance a couple meetings ago, so we're going to try and condense people's speaking, and anybody that speaks that short, they're in. That's it. That's the way we're doing it. No, I'm kidding. Super special meeting for me in a number of ways. I'm joined tonight by Council Member Steve Cody. Obviously, you met Mayor for the Day Nick, and my colleague, Councilwoman Marcia Matson. In addition to having Nick here this evening, this is going to be my last time as mayor recognizing the teachers and rookie teachers of the year. And I want to give each and every one of you, and I will say it again probably in a few minutes. First of all, thank you all for joining this evening. You really are the backbone of the village of Palmetto Bay. We have amazing schools as evidenced by Nick, who knows more about my agenda than I do. He's read the entire agenda. But more on our teachers in just a few minutes. This is a time when we have the opportunity to recognize people and organizations in our community that are really doing amazing things. And tonight, before we recognize all of our teachers and teachers of the year and rookie teachers of the year, we have a very special young woman in our audience. Sharon, come on up. So Sharon, you are a former teacher, is that correct? Yeah, that's right. Come join us right here. So we have amazing volunteers in our community, and Miss Shelley, where did you teach?
Calusa, Olympia Heights, Flamingo.
Okay, been around the school district just a little bit, yeah. So Sharon has done an amazing job on our education committee. We have an education committee that meets once a month to talk about all things public education. The schools that are in the room this evening are actually the schools that we have a compact with Miami-Dade County Public Schools, and really done an amazing job. And I really appreciated your kind words when you said just a short time ago, hey, I'm stepping down. I'm sorry, I'm joining. I just got appointed as the liaison to the Education Committee. So we really thank you for your service, not only as many of the people in the room as a teacher at our public schools, but also the work that you've done for a couple of years, I think, or a year and some, a little over a year, as a part of our Education Advisory Board. And so tonight we would like to recognize you. It says the Village of Palmetto Bay proudly recognizes, can you read all those? You want to do it? Okay. All right. It's all you.
To Sharon Shelley. The Village of Palmetto Bay proudly recognizes and extends its sincere appreciation for your outstanding commitment to our community through your dedicated service on the Education Advisory Committee.
You can keep going. Okay. Exemplary.
Your exemplary civic responsibility, meaningful volunteer contributions, and unwavering dedication to enhancing the quality of life in Palmetto Bay are truly commendable. Thank you for your leadership and continued support of our village through volunteerism.
Let's give him a round of applause. We didn't practice that one, did we? No. Congratulations, Howard Drive, and all the Howard Drive teachers that have impacted this young man's life. You're a great reader, and you have a radio voice, too. Sharon, really, thank you, thank you, thank you. You're going to be missed. I hope you'll come anyway to some of the meetings, even if you sit in as a part of the public, check out the minutes, and give me some guidance over my final 9 months. So tonight we will present you with this, and Mayor Nick, do you have something to give? Very good. So Nick received a challenge coin earlier, and I told them each one of the honorees tonight will receive a challenge coin. If you're not familiar with challenge coins, do you remember anything I told you? Yes. Oh, okay, let's see.
It started in for people in World War II.
Mm-hmm. And you learned the story too.
Yes.
Well, don't tell that whole story. But so challenge coins represent that you're a part of the community. Our manager met with our mayor for the day, Nick, and was telling him about a time when you always have to keep that challenge coin with you. And if one of the members of your battalion or group came and you didn't have the challenge coin, well, you maybe had to do some extra push-ups or something along those lines. And the manager got stumped. Where was he?
In the shower.
In the shower. So, but he kept his challenge coin with a bar of soap. And so he won that challenge. Anyway, thank you so much for being a part of the greater community. We're very honored to have had you on our Education Advisory Board. And for some reason, I don't think you're done with your volunteerism. So hopefully you'll come back and do more great things. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? You good? All right. Sharon, we're going to get a photo. Let's get you in the middle. Hey, IT, I got a little something going on here with the, I don't know if, maybe it's this. No, I shut that off. Okay, oops, shut that off. All right. Okay, now, so as I was saying just a few moments ago, and I'm going to say it again, I have been honored to have the opportunity to serve our community, not only in the capacity of councilwoman and mayor, but as a first grade teacher, where I taught at Little River Elementary and Royal Green Elementary for about 18 years before I transitioned and worked for 20 some odd years with United Teachers of Dade. I really, when I became mayor in the village, I said we have to make sure we're recognizing the people that really are where the rubber meets the road. So, and to me, you are where the rubber meets the road. You heard this young man read just a few moments ago. Each one of you in the room are Teachers of the Year, Rookie Teachers of the Year, administrators, district administration. Thank you for joining us as well, Martha. Eric, if you don't mind just taking a look up, it might be my laptop, I'm not sure. Could we just make sure everything's shut off up there? You build confidence, you make leaders, you are chief cooks and bottle washers, honestly, for every child that comes in the room, from teaching them to tie their shoes, to putting on Band-Aids when they get their boo-boos. You really are the backbone of our community. And I know I say that quite a bit, but I do honestly believe that the schools are 4 amazing public schools, and I have to count Palmetto Senior. I've got to kind of count Palmetto Middle too, because we have children that go there. Really do amazing work here in our community. I was Teacher of the Year at my school, just at my school, and that's exactly what I said back then. Well, it's just at my school. But I've come to learn over the course of many years subsequent to becoming Teacher of the Year at Royal Green Elementary, back in, I want to say it was, I'm afraid to say what it was because it was a really long time ago, probably early 1990s. I still have the little apple plaque in my library at home because what I realized as time went on, some people would say, oh, well, you know, just at your school. To me, that's really the important spot, right? Because who knows better the work you're doing than the colleagues that voted to make you Teacher of the Year and Rookie Teacher of the Year. It's not the outside folks coming down to look at your classroom, and they, of course, you know, they know what they're talking about, they know what they're looking for, but your colleagues chose you as a symbol of excellence in education at your school site. And to me, that is probably the most meaningful win, if you will, is having the respect and admiration of the people that you serve with. Listen, public education is under attack. I'm not afraid to say that. Public education is under attack. So thank you. Thank you for the work you're doing to the rookies, and we'll call your names in just a few moments. To the Rookie Teachers of the Year, stick around. Take a look at the Teacher of the Year at your school, the one with a little bit more experience. Learn from them. Because the Teachers of the Year, the ones that have the years and years of experience, we're seeing fewer and fewer stick around in our schools. So I'm making a little melancholy. It's not. You're here. You won at your school site, and we couldn't be prouder. We like to promote our public schools every single chance we get. So Howard Drive, Southwood Middle, Coral Reef Elementary. Oh my gosh, where am I going with this? Oh my gosh, I do it every single time. Dr. Henry E. Perrine, Academy of the Arts. We're just so proud of you. I have really enjoyed the partnership, and I'm not going anywhere. I've got 9 more months to serve, and I'm not moving from this community. So maybe I'll be one of the Sharons coming to your school. Maybe one of you will let me volunteer in my retirement. It truly, truly, truly has been an honor to serve alongside each and every one of you. So let's start the celebration by, and I'm going to let you call out. You want to call out the names from your school? Okay, let's do it. We're going to invite your principal. We're going to invite it says toy, but it means Teacher of the Year. And we're going to invite our toy, Rookie Teacher of the Year, to come up and join us. Are you ready to do that? Giving you a minute just to look, but I think you've got this. All right.
Howard Drive Elementary. Principal attending, Christina Diaz. Teacher of the Year, Linda M. Holcomb. Rookie Teacher of the Year, Jordan Butler Butt.
I'm going to take the mic, and I'm going to let you do the challenge coin. Okay? Okay. Can you do that? Thank you. I'm going to read one of the certificates. I won't read it for each group that comes up, but it says, children excel in schools wherein devoted teachers instill in the student body the desire to succeed. Dedicated teachers work closely with the principals, parents, and fellow faculty members to provide a positive atmosphere for learning. Our future depends upon the knowledge and motivation of today's students. Frankly, I think after the few hours I've spent with Nick, our future is very, very bright. The social and educational development of our children is in the hands of teachers who are entrusted with assisting students to reach their full potential. It is appropriate that teachers be recognized for this dedication and commitment to educating our students. The Village of Palmetto Bay wishes to express its appreciation for your exemplary service. Congratulations on your achievement at being Teacher of the Year or Rookie Teacher of the Year. We're super proud of you. Big round of applause. And I'm so sorry, I missed a beat here. Do you want to say a few words? No? How about you, council member? No. Okay, all right. Look at you, said it all. They never do that with me. That's amazing, amazing. All right, let's give Howard Drive a big round of applause. Let's switch places. Oh, hold on, I'm so sorry. Peter, come join us. Come on, please. Oh, yeah. All right. Did you give them challenge coins?
Yes.
Okay.
He slipped it to me.
Thank you, Howard Drive, and thank you, Little Mayor Nick. Appreciate you. All right, Nick, you're on a roll here, so I'm going to let you continue. Okay. All right, so both of them are here, so if you don't mind calling the school, and then you can call both of their names.
Coral Reef. Okay.
And their principal.
Coral Reef Elementary School, principal attending Christina Guerra. Okay. Teacher of the Year, Natalie O'Neill. Rookie Teacher of the Year, Michelle Lopez.
All right, I'll switch with you, and I'll let you present the challenge coins. How's that?
Thank you so much.
All right, a big round of applause for Coral Reef Elementary School. Congratulations, ladies. Thank you. All right, you ready for the next one since you're on a roll? And I don't see, so I don't see her here. Do I? No, okay. No, all right, so don't call her name because I don't want to.
Okay.
But just call the school and then Teacher of the Year. Well, I don't think he's here, but we'll call his name anywhere.
Okay.
Anyway, okay?
Palmetto Senior High School. Teacher of the Year, Dr. Sandra Tilton.
Let's see, they have a designee, yeah, I looked, and of course I was looking for Ms. Dobbs. That's right, thank you. That's, are you assistant principal? Yes. Assistant principal, Mrs. Del Valle.
Assistant Principal attending, Ms. DeValle. Ms. DeValle.
All right. And then, here we are.
Rookie Teacher of the Year, Mr. Ernesto Ferris.
He couldn't attend because he's at school.
Okay.
I'll take these, and you do your job. All right, a big round of applause for my alma mater. Go Panthers. Big round of applause for Miami Palmetto Senior High School. All right. Put the word doctor in front of it because it's Dr. Henry Perrine.
Elementary.
Dr. Henry E. Perrine Academy of the Arts.
Okay.
Let's see how you do.
Dr. Henry E. Perrine
Academy.
Academy of the Arts. Principal attending, Barbara Brown.
Teacher of the Year.
Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Jenny Martinez.
Get your challenge cards. You ready? I think Councilmember Cody has them. Oops. There you go. Thank you. Thank you so much. And you know what? Let's give it to the principal. Okay. You didn't have a Teacher of the Year this year. Okay, very good. Steve, you going to join us?
Sorry.
Congratulations. And they did not have a Rookie Teacher of the Year, but that is because they didn't have someone that met the criteria for Rookie Teacher of the Year. I think you're under 5 years, is that right, for Rookie Teacher? Or is it 3, under 3 years? Yeah. So we're sorry to hear that, but it's also awesome. You've got some amazing folks there. All right, and last but not least this evening,
Southwood Middle School. Principal attending, Daniel Barreras. Teacher of the Year, Sarah Gomez Martinez. Rookie Teacher of the Year, Mary Rodriguez.
congratulations. You want to do your challenge coins? Can you get that for Steve? All right, there you go. Yeah, this one, take out a little bag. Oops, I dropped it. That's it. Thank you. They are.
Thank you. Oh,
Let me see if I can get this one open. There we go. There you go, sir. All right, a big round of applause for Dr. Henry E. Perrine, Academy of the Arts.
it's Southwood.
What's that? Oh, I'm sorry. Listen, he has been the best. Southwood. I'm so sorry. Oh, my goodness. You're definitely hired. All right, a big round of applause for Southwood Middle School. Well, I'm just going to leave it with thank you, thank you, thank you. I really cannot say thank you enough. I love over here, we had a whole cheer team. This was incredible, awesome. Keep doing what you're doing. We look forward to seeing you in and around the village. My young mayor for the day gave each one of you a card. We've got some really amazing stuff going on here in the village. This Saturday, March 7th, we have the grand opening of our new rec center at Coral Reef Park. 5,000 square feet, state of the art. It's going to be a real community gathering place. I see a couple principals nodding. It would be definitely a good place for bringing in teachers, maybe on a teacher work day. Touch base with our parks director, Fanny Carmona. And then I know many of you are going to be out there because right following the ribbon cutting at 11 a.m. we have the village picnic, a great tradition that has been going on, I think this is for 20 some odd years, as long as the village has been around, maybe minus a year or two. Every one of our schools, I believe, will be there because you're participating. The children are going to be performing. So we look forward to seeing our administrators, our teachers, if you're available, come out and have free corn on the cob and pizza and hear and see all the good work that you're doing in the community. We really appreciate you. And with that, I'm going to close this portion. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm not going to close this portion of the meeting. One moment.
Thank you. I just wanted to tell Nick that he did an excellent job this evening, and I also want you to know that if the vice mayor had not just shown up a couple of minutes ago, I was going to move to have you named our new vice mayor, but you're lucky.
All right, we're going to close this portion of the meeting. We're going to start our regular meeting in about 4 minutes. Stick around if you want to take some photos. You're more than welcome to do so in the lobby as we'll start our meeting in about 4 minutes. So appreciate you. Thank you, and have a good evening. Hi there. Hey, all right, we're live. All right, it's all you, my friend. Sit up. You can do it louder than that.
Okay. Good evening. Welcome to our regular council meeting, Monday, March 2nd, 2026, 7 p.m. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Mayor Karen Cunningham,
Present?
Vice Mayor Mark Meritzer,
Present.
Councilmember Patrick Fiore,
Present.
Councilmember Steve Cody,
Here.
Councilmember Marsha Matson.
Here.
Quorum is met.
Councilmember Fiore will lead us in prayer.
Thank you, sir. Before I go into tonight's reading, just please keep in mind our men and women in harm's way over in the Middle East, and prayers for the families of those that we've lost and are injured. Tonight's reading is from Isaiah 31:2. The Lord will heal his people, and therefore will the Lord wait that he may be gracious unto you, and therefore will he be exalted, that he may have mercy upon you. For the Lord is a God of judgment. Blessed are all they that wait for him. Amen.
Please stand for our pledge of allegiance.
Let's give our mayor for the day, Nick Glass, a big round of applause. All right. Very good. Mr. Manager, how does it feel having two Nicks in the house?
Outstanding. Not a
Mr. Glass, we'll send you some photos a little bit later. Appreciate your time, and we wish you the very best. Young Nick is at Howard Drive, if you're just joining us, Howard Drive Elementary. I had outreach from Deputy Judge, who said, I have an outstanding young man who would be interested in being mayor for the day, and he is going to be moving to Tallahassee at the end of the year because his mom just started a short time ago working for the Department of Revenue. Now, I told him to put the bug in her ear that Palmetto Bay's got talent, and we've got a nice surplus, but a little extra cha-ching is okay with us here on the council. Again, a big round of applause, Nick. Great job. Great job. All right, if I could get somebody to move the minutes for February 2nd, 2026.
Move.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, that passes. At this time, we'll take requests, petitions, and public comments. For those of you that might be new to the meeting, which I don't know that there's many, but this is the time for comments that have nothing to do with tonight's agenda. So come on up, please.
My name is Tyler Parker, 9280 Southwest 167th Terrace, Palmetto Bay. One of the things I wanted to say is that I want to thank our fire department, Fire Rescue Engine 50. On February 17, approximately 2100 hours, I went into a diabetic coma. Didn't realize what was going on. I really like I have a sweet tooth, didn't realize that I might have overdid it that night, and because of quick 911 and quick response from that engine, I really appreciate able to be here today. And all that shows what our administration, how amazing our administration is, and manager. It's an amazing job. Our sheriff's department also responded. You know, I'm very privileged to live in Palmetto Bay. I get to travel a lot, and there's two places that I like very much, Sunny Isle Beach and here, and I'm very privileged to be a citizen here. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please. Your name and address, please.
Sally Jankachith, 7740 Southwest 177th Street. I received an email from Palmetto Bay Neighbors Alliance regarding Mr. Polito's silent protest by respectfully declining to lead the Pledge of Allegiance at January's council meeting. I am here to stand up for my fellow resident volunteer, George Polito. Here is a brief history of our flag. The flag was introduced in a magazine, The Youth's Companion, in 1892 to commemorate Columbus Day. Congress recognizes the pledge in 1942, adding it into the federal flag code, which included changing the Bellamy salute that looked too much like a Nazi salute to placing one's palm over the heart. Finally, in 1954, President Eisenhower approves a congressional resolution to add the phrase, "under God," to the pledge. Renee Nicole Good, an unarmed citizen shot at close range by an ICE agent. I say her name because she is one of the many reasons Mr. Polito chose not to participate in a pledge that states, "And allegiance to our country's flag for a republic for which it stands, with liberty and justice for all." Alex Pretty, a VAICU nurse who was shot point blank by ICE agents while trying to shield a woman from their violent tactics. Dr. Linda Davis, a Georgia teacher, bled to death in her crushed car because of an illegal ICE vehicle chase. I say their names because our republic is in turmoil, and justice for their murders is being suppressed and delayed by our government. We are being told to believe differently from witness accounts and videos that say otherwise. Witness recordings that allow us to ascertain the truth with our own eyes and ears. Our social contract to do unto others as we would have them do unto us is shattering. Our own state of Florida may soon make filming ICE agents illegal, suppressing our rights to record crimes violating the U.S. Constitution. As a U.S. citizen and Palmetto Bay resident, Mr. Polito participated in the pledge at past council meetings. Thus, the January event was his first time choosing not to do so. Colin Kaepernick, who kneeled in protest to racial injustice and violence, said, "I am not going to stand up to show pride in a flag for a country that oppresses Black people and people of color." George Polito chose to abstain for similar reasons, and it is his First Amendment right. I applaud Mr. Polito as chair of the Education Advisory Committee, modeling for our youths a respectful, responsible way to show his grievances to our government with the hope that it can be redressed. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please. Name and address.
Hi, good evening. Karen Baiswala, 7380 Southwest 141st Terrace. First, I want to thank Colonel Morano for your service. I think the events that have happened over the last 48 hours really highlight the fact that there's men and women consistently running into harm's way when the average person runs away. Having said that, this weekend, I was at Coral Reef Park and I saw air rescue landing in the middle of the field, and I thought that was spectacular. And I have asked in the past of this council and to get some feedback about traffic calming measures that we're using. So I researched it, and in 2018, there was indeed a resolution passed that wherever there is this permanent speed hump, there would be an associated decrease in miles per hour with a sign. And I have asked for a gap analysis in the past, if possible, wherever we have installed those traffic calming measures, if we have the appropriate miles per hour signage associated with it. So I'm just kind of bringing that back up. My neighbors are complaining about it, or at least bringing it to my attention, that they really would like some resolution, that wherever there is an appropriate permanent speed hump installed, that there is the appropriate mile per hour signage so that our police officers can cite those that are causing the infractions. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, very good. We will go ahead and close request petition. Oh, thank you for the reminder. Appreciate it.
My office received one public comment by form for this section of the agenda. The comment is received from Linda Miller, who resides at 8801 Southwest 176th Street, to the Palmetto Bay Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members. You request that village citizens maintain civility during council meetings. The citizens of Palmetto Bay request that you, the council, maintain civility toward each other during the meeting. Stop bickering with each other, which makes the meetings go on and on. Thank you. That's the only comment that was submitted for this section.
Wonderful. A couple of quick things. We are going to talk about, everyone has the timer in front of them. This will be the first time that we are using the timer. I know we have IT nearby. Carla is the one that will be listening for your pause. So if you are finished with comments, or maybe you're going to do a second round at some point, just if you could indicate in some way that you're done, or stop, or I don't know if we want to create a code word for that, but some word to let Carla know that she'll stop the timer. The timer doesn't stop automatically. That's one. I am going to ask, just for tonight, as I'm also familiarizing myself with the timer, if we could perhaps not, oh my goodness, drawing a blank here, allow your time to go to somebody else. If we could just practice with it tonight, that would be helpful. If there's some emergency and you need to waive your time to another colleague, understood, but as I become more familiar with the timer and we kind of get through this learning curve, so to speak, that would be helpful. And then I would also say, just because there's 10 minutes on your timer doesn't necessarily mean we have to speak for 10 minutes, but it'll give you a little bit of a gauge. I'm actually surprised. I was playing with it before the meeting, and I talk quite a bit too. I've realized how quickly the time can go. So if you just kind of keep it's going to come up for everyone to see on our screen in just a few minutes. So if you need a reminder, refresher, or you're having a problem in some way, like we have right now, IT can come and help you get your timer back on. Eric, if you can hear me, if you could come back out. Councilwoman has an issue. All right, so with that, we're going to turn it over to the village manager. Take it away.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. It's my pleasure to introduce Miami-Dade Fire Rescue Chief Jadala. He's here this evening, as he does every year, to present the annual report. We'll be putting up a short presentation, but Chief, welcome. We're honored to have you here, and we appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. Good evening, Madam Mayor, to the members of the council, to the city manager, or to the village manager, to all of our residents and our partners at the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office. My name is Ray Jadala, Fire Chief of Miami-Dade Fire Rescue. And tonight, I'm going to provide a little snippet of the service delivery report for fiscal year 24-25, which is again, a small portion of what was actually provided to the village a few months ago. And at the end, if there's any questions, definitely be able to answer. So if we could go to the next slide, there's a little video that kind of sums up the Palmetto Bay. And if we could actually start there we go. It has some music. If we could go to the next slide. So just a little overview of Miami-Dade Fire Rescue. Miami-Dade Fire Rescue was established in 1935. We celebrated our 90th anniversary last year. We are the 6th largest fire department in the country. We do have 72 fire stations, 2 of which are in Palmetto Bay. Now, if you caught that, Station 4 was actually part of the video. Technically, it's on the other side of the highway. However, they did respond to approximately 30% of the calls in Palmetto Bay. 173 frontline units, and we continue to put resources, within the area. We do have a station that's slated to open up off of Eureka and 157 Avenue, which again, it's additional resources that can respond to large-scale incidents here at Palmetto Bay. We have just over 3,100 MDFR employees, and as you can see, 2,400 are firefighters alone, and we continue to add to those numbers each year. And of course, just the sheer number of firefighters that are on duty every day, 11 of which are staffed here in Palmetto Bay. Last year, Miami-Dade Fire Rescue responded to just under 300,000 calls, of which just under 2,600 calls were in the village. And of course, Miami-Dade Fire Rescue proudly upholds the ISO Class 1 and is an internationally accredited agency. Go to the next page. So just some resources in Palmetto Bay. So we have 8 stations that are within 3 miles of the village of Palmetto Bay. That's 17 frontline units, and as you can see, it breaks down between our suppressions and rescues. And that's important because for a typical house fire, it's not just one fire truck or a rescue truck that responds. There are requirements that are set forth that we need to follow by the NFPA. And a typical house fire would bring in a total of 5 trucks, various trucks of fire trucks, rescue trucks, ladders, commanding officers. And as the incident escalates or people are injured, it brings a complement that reciprocates the original response. So at any given point, you could have in the ballpark of 10 fire trucks that need to respond, especially to some of the larger houses here in Palmetto Bay. As you can see here, we have a response time of approximately 6 minutes and 35 seconds or less. This is obviously well below the 8-minute mark that's the national standard. If you take a look at the map there, so as I had mentioned, there are 2 stations within the actual boundaries of Palmetto Bay. Station 4 is on the other side of the highway, but we do include it because they do respond to a majority of the calls also. The 3 stations alone account for just over 90% of the calls in Palmetto Bay. And once we do have capital for the future, we are looking at a Station 74 on the south end of Palmetto Bay. We did, over the summer, tear down the old house. It is a flat land right now, and as we continue to work on our 5-year and 10-year plan, we are working on the possibility of a fire station in the future. We'll go to the next page. So planning for a safe and sustainable, resilient future in Palmetto Bay, and the calls continue. As you can see here, in the last 6 years, the calls have increased by 26%. And it should be no surprise that commercial and retail continue to grow here in Palmetto Bay. What we have for permits that we're well aware of is just under 300,000 square feet of commercial and retail that's upcoming here in Palmetto Bay. 5 proposed new developments. And then last year, we also inspected 812 businesses to ensure the fire and life safety codes are met, to ensure the safety of our residents and our visitors here in Palmetto Bay. And as you can see there, we do have 1 station that is planned. Rescue 74, which is the station that would be, or the unit that would be dedicated to the station, is currently running out of the Saga Bay Station 55. Next slide. So Miami-Dade Fire Rescue, we continue to, thrive to do better. So we do actually engage with all of our residents, all 29 municipalities that we serve, including the unincorporated Miami-Dade County. So as you can see here, we had 4 help courses. Our help courses are the Health Emergency Life Safety Program, which is a course, it's a 2-hour course that teaches stroke awareness, hands-on CPR, stop the bleed for our residents. In addition to that, we had 14 community events we had just under 2,200 residents just from Palmetto Bay that actually participated in some form of community event or our help courses here. And then, of course, our patient feedback survey is extremely important. You know, it makes us look at things to ensure that we're doing them, you know, at today's standards, or if we need to make some changes to our practices. So last year, 28 Palmetto Bay residents have actually submitted their surveys back to MDFR. And as you can see here, we had a rating of 4.88 out of a 5.0, which is a 98% satisfaction rate. And there's some quotes there. As you can see, those are actually from Palmetto Bay residents that actually, you know, took the time and wrote a quote. Next page. And Madam Mayor, you know, that sums up the, again, a small snippet of the larger service delivery report that was provided earlier this year. And I just want to say thank you to, to the village here for allowing me to stand before you and present today's service delivery report. And at this time, I open it up for any questions.
Thank you, Chief. We appreciate your service to our community and all of those that serve under you. I know Councilmember Fiore, would you like to make a comment?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor. Well, first question is, and the manager can chime in on this, we don't have a transport vehicle at Station 62, correct?
That's correct.
So is the one at Saga Bay eventually that's going to be at 74, will that take the place of that, or are we slated to get one in the future?
So once the station is built and we will staff it with that rescue and possibly another suppression, there's a lot of factors that go into it. And then the unit that's out of Saga Bay would be replaced by another unit.
Okay, so eventually we'll get,
Once the station is built, the intent is to, backfill it with a rescue, and then the Saga Bay station would get a different unit.
okay. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Anyone else, questions? Yes. Okay, anyone, no more questions, any comments?
Yeah, I'll just say thank you for all you do.
Thank you, Vice Mayor, appreciate that.
Councilwoman?
I had the experience a few months ago of actually calling your department because of smoke, a lot of smoke coming from a neighbor's yard, and the response was excellent. And as soon as you all came, smoke was gone. I don't know what was back there, but you all did a good job stopping it.
Thank you very much, and I'll make sure I relay the information to the crews. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, Councilwoman.
Anyone else? I'll just leave with this. Obviously, everybody in the community, many people in the community have experienced your staff coming into our homes or businesses. My colleague, Patrick Fiore, had a similar experience several years ago. You all saved the life of his wife by getting her to Baptist Hospital in time for the doctors to do their work. So I know he's very appreciative. He asked me to make the comments. So thank you, Chief. I appreciate very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
All right, Mr. Manager, we'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Olga, if you could put up my computer, please. Let me proceed with the manager's report here. First item, we did finish our annual audit. It's under review at the audit firm right now. We don't expect any findings or comments, so in other words, another clean audit, but I'll wait until we actually receive it to provide that information to the council. AIPP, bottom line is, we have a total of 4 artists that the committee selected to proceed in terms of the roundabout at 152nd Street. There's a national program that we will be bringing a resolution in April, Keep Palmetto Bay Beautiful. It's really a very nice program, part of a national project, and we'll be bringing that resolution to the Village Council in April. Just to remind everyone, April 25th, spring recycling event, March 7th coming up, combined annual picnic and the ribbon cutting of our new Coral Reef Park recreation facility. And I'd like to open this to the Village Council very briefly. You do have a timing system in front of you as part of what could be a more permanent solution. The company Granicus, who does our video streaming of all our council meetings, has a module that would not only, or could potentially help in the timing part, but also would present a e-voting solution for the village council. Up on the screens where you see my presentation right now would be the active motion that the village council is voting on. I'd like to present this, if the village council would like to have it, just before our April meeting. You would need to be up on the dais to go through a demonstration, and then at that point, the village council could decide whether or not you wanted to proceed with the module that would not only enable timing, but electronic voting. It would, again, would have the active motion that is up. As soon as the vote is complete, the results of the vote would be up on the screen, and that would be both in chambers and on the video. So with the village council's concurrence, I'd like to schedule that for 5:30 p.m. just before our April council meeting on the 6th. If there's no objection.
I'm in for it, yep. Pat's is fine. Yep.
Okay, we'll proceed with that. Thank you. For item 12F, the Vice Mayor has proposed what I think is a very good amendment to it. The village staff is in full support of this. This would add protected bike lanes of a type. This is a very specific brand here. It may or may not end up being this brand, but it would provide a physical separation between the travel lane of the road and the bike lane. If the village council would concur with adding this amendment, we can keep item 12F on the agenda. We would proceed to negotiate with the contractor to add that as a change order to the contract in front of you, not to exceed $50,000. If it exceeds $50,000, then I would bring it back for your approval.
Can we, I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry, Madam Mayor.
I thought, are you still?
No, go ahead, I'm done.
I was just going to say, can we get a motion?
Move.
Mark,
Second.
okay, is there a discussion or questions about the motion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right,
Thank you, ma'am.
thank you.
Proceeding on to to Parks and Recreation. Veterans Park, ITB has gone out. All the bids are due back to the village on March 12th. We do expect to bring that contract to the village council for the April meeting. Farmers Market, that RFP concluded and the contract is in front of you here this evening. Coral Reef Park, the tennis court renovation is complete. If you have not already been out there and seen people playing, the courts really look fantastic. New fencing as well. You will be approving this month a new contract for the Palmetto Bay and Coral Reef Park trails. Pickleball facility, the design permitting process continues. We're just about at the end of that phase. The village did purchase the steel building that will be assembled on site. Finally, Palmetto Bay Park, we do expect the skate park renovations to be complete no later than June of this year. Moving on to public services, on 92nd Avenue, you'll see that the permanent speed tables have been installed. We do plan on doing additional landscaping as part of that project. Subbasin 44, that project is just about complete. Subbasin 12, you just approved that contract recently, and the Public Works Director has issued a notice to proceed to the contractor on that. Very recently approved an additional contract for Subbasin 42, and we're in the process with a contractor of reviewing shop drawings of that project. Traffic calming program, the installation of speed tables is in progress as we speak. Bike lane project is in front of you here this evening. Sidewalk improvements are also in progress. If you notice, the Village Hall and the Public Service Building exterior paint projects have been completed. We do plan on painting the ground floor of the Village Hall here shortly. Localized draining projects, we do have a RFP out, and we expect the bids to come back in by March 5th. And then finally, we did expand our freebie service from 2 to 4 vehicles, and that was really based on the state grant dollars that the village received. Planning and zoning, 4 items on the February zoning hearing. We have a right-of-way vacation on 67th Court. To call it a right-of-way is slightly a misnomer. It was originally drawn out when that area was platted. It is not a right-of-way. It's in its natural state, and this is just kind of cleaning up one of the quirks of the existing village map that we have. We're also bringing a modification to the code in regards to driveway widths, sponsored by the Vice Mayor. There is a proposal to rezone a property from Ag to R1, and if the Village Council would approve that, then there'd be a follow-up item to provide a lot width variance. Please note that for 2 of these items, a local planning or an LPA meeting will be required prior to the actual zoning hearing.
Mr. Manager, I think that means that's the March zoning hearing, right?
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yes,
Just clarifying, that's all.
that's right.
Thank
I
you.
was just trying to prove that I could actually spell February.
I know, it's tricky. I'll bet the other Nick could have gotten it.
Don't ask me to spell Wednesday, but I just wanted to prove that I knew there were 2 R's in February. Parking, we are proceeding, bottom line, with our Pay to Park program for very limited areas of the village downtown. The parking signs have already been installed. We are in the middle of a public information campaign. That'll be followed by a 30-day soft launch where the intent is to educate offenders that they're currently parking in an unauthorized place or an unauthorized manner prior to actually issuing tickets. We've done extensive public outreach with both the residents. Most of them are multifamily communities that live in and around those areas, as well as the business owners. And again, the whole purpose of this is to provide support for the businesses who need those parking spots during business hours. Finally, a brief legislative affair update. Good news to report that both of the village submissions, Subbasin 39 and an additional multimodal project on 82nd Avenue, both of those projects are in the budget. We have to continue to follow them to make sure that they're both fully funded. At this point, based on all the discussions that we had in Tallahassee last week, I think all of us who went up there feel very good about both of these projects, particularly the Subbasin project. The multimodal one, always kind of a risk that at the 11th hour it could get vetoed, but we're very pleased where we are in terms of our legislative affairs at the state level. The federal level, I've been talking to a federal lobbyist. I do intend on issuing him a contract not to exceed the village manager's authority to really push 2 projects, one for Veterans Park and the other for Subbasin 11. We have the ability, and just like Representative Salazar 2 years ago got us funding for phase 1 of Veterans Park, we're going to go back and request through her office funding for phase 2. We do have the ability to request up to an 80% match of $5 million. So we're going to go back with a big ask. They feel really confident about it. We're going to go back with a big ask for Veterans Park and for Subbasin 11. So I'll keep you informed about how both of those go, but we're going to proceed for a federal appropriation for both of those projects. And with that, Madam Mayor, I'm happy to answer any questions from you or the Village Council.
All right, now questions are in a part of your 10 minutes, so ask away. Vice Mayor?
Yeah, I just wanted to know when the comprehensive annual financial report will be available for viewing.
So I'd have to ask the finance director if he could come out. It's usually sometime right after the budget is complete. I can provide that information to you and the council shortly.
That works, thank you. It can be over email.
Mr. Manager, he said you could just send it via email. Okay. Or we can just get the answer. Well, why don't we keep...
For the April meeting.
There you go. Thank you. Councilwoman?
Several questions. I did email them to you, but I haven't received an answer. So the first question has to do with what's happening with the iBus.
Nothing, there are no changes, ma'am. I mean, we did a pickup change, but if you mean routing and things like that, we have no changes planned.
No changes in the schedule at this point.
I know we just did a change, but the iBus is continuing, ma'am.
Okay. And the bike pedestrian bridge, what's happening with that? I thought that we were going to have a community meeting.
From the grant agency, it was not possible for us to delay it an additional month. So we told them that we may come back next cycle, which would be next year on that.
Right, and I requested, well, that's not a question. And lobbyist report, I requested, are you willing to talk to Gray Robinson regarding summarizing all the legislative items that are actually pertinent?
Just kind of neck it down to Palmetto Bay?
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm happy.
Have you spoken with him about that?
I have not yet,
Okay.
but I'm happy to do that.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Awesome. Comments? Go ahead.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for your coordination on the bike lane item. I appreciate that. I want to make a comment about what one of the speakers mentioned with the speed limits. I was at a Pinecrest Council meeting, I think it was either last month or the month before, and they were discussing a similar item about lowering their speed limits in some areas. So perhaps if you want to get some information about how we could do that here or learn more about what their process was, I know that their village manager was probably looking into that by now, so that could be something that we could do.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I think that's, I mean, honestly, I think that's a fantastic idea. And I don't know if it's limited to just permanent. I think even where we have temporary tables, but I'll have to take a look at that. But thank you.
Anyone else? Go ahead. Are we, so Mr. Attorney, are we timing during this, or I'm just wondering for the future, because I'm learning.
We were just talking about that. We were really addressing it with the actual agenda items, the resolutions and ordinances.
Okay.
Because we hadn't really talked about that. If you guys would like us to, we can, but as of right now, we weren't.
Okay, go ahead. All right, thank you. Go ahead. Yeah, exactly. Thanks.
Okay, I recall, Madam Mayor, that we excluded questions from being timed, if you recall that.
We did, yes, for now.
All right, okay, just reminding you. All right, the only thing I would like to bring up, and this is something that I've been following, and I haven't talked about it for a little while, but I think the public needs to know, and especially any registered candidates and potential candidates should really know about that, and that is our LuxCom legal expenses. And the reason I'm bringing it up particularly this month is that the manager's reportable checks show 3 checks paid to attorneys for LuxCom amounting to $93,571 for 1 month. So what I did was I went back and I reviewed a year's worth of agenda books in which the manager's reportable checks are stated in each one. And I added them up since March of 2025 until today's agenda book. And it totals $855,000 and $855,170. In 1 year's time, we're getting close to $1 million on the LuxCom lawsuit. And I think this is something that the citizens should be aware of, and especially candidates, potential and registered candidates, because so far it's just status quo, nothing is happening. This is going to possibly be on you all, and you really need to discuss it. during the campaign, in my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, Mr. Manager, is it okay, we will take the police commander
Police
report?
report. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, Mayor and Council and residents. We started off the year, January, with 31% lower crime rate than in 2025. We have had no larcenies, no robberies this for January. We had 3 auto thefts, and this is normally when the auto industry does their inventories, so some vehicles they misplace and they find them later on, but we had 2 that were taken with keys, actually from residents. No residential burglaries, and only 1 vehicle burglary, and that car was left open also. So we're doing great. 3 aggravated assaults, those were my police officers that were assaulted, but the person was arrested and charged accordingly. Aggravated battery is a DV, domestic violence. No residential burglaries to show on the map. 1 vehicle burglary. 1,411 citations in response to the complaints that we have received from the residents of Palmetto Bay. And that is all I have, if anybody has any questions.
That's right. We should give them a round of applause because
Thank you.
31% is nothing to sneeze at.
Thank you.
Councilmember, I'm sorry, Vice Mayor Merwitzer.
Yeah, so I brought it up during the last meeting. Would love to get the message out there that we had a 31% reduction in crime. I know Pinecrest did a video with their police commander. I don't know if that's still on the table, but I just wanted to flag that one more time.
We spoke with communications. We'll be putting one out.
Amazing, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor, can I also point out, this is Major Guerra's penultimate council meeting,
Yes, it is.
as she is due to retire on April 13th.
Yes.
Well, you will be missed. I hope I'm as giddy as you are when it's my last one, because you have been smiling all day long. So I just simply love it. You know we love you, and we will celebrate you.
Thank you.
Hopefully you will come back to the April council meeting where we
Yes.
will be able to celebrate. Yep, awesome.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank
Any other
you.
questions? All right, very good.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. All right, with that, we'll turn it over to the village attorney.
Yep, you guys have the invoices, and I know I've spoken with each of you between now and the last meeting. I'm happy to answer any questions if you might have, to the extent I haven't answered them in advance of today's meeting. I also wanted to mention when we get to the consent agenda, there are 2 items that will need to be pulled from the consent agenda. Those are items 12A and 12B. The Vice Mayor reached out to me in advance of the meeting and indicated that he is going to recuse himself in an abundance of caution on those agenda items. So as a result, since there are other items on consent, they will need to be pulled off. You can't just partially vote on consent. You either vote on all of them or you don't vote on any of them. I also let the Vice Mayor know that, so he will get with the clerk because there is a form that you need to fill out to when you recuse yourself. So he'll get that form from the clerk, and then he'll have to timely file it. I think, Missy, it's 10 days. I think you have 10 days from today to fill that out. So those will be pulled off of consent. But if you have any questions on the legal issues, I'm happy to answer them.
Thank you. Questions? Councilwoman?
What is the recusal about? And which items?
It was items 12A and B. Those are the fee waivers for the Chabad. And I don't want to speak for the Vice Mayor, but I'll let him advise you on the recusal.
Okay, I'm going to redirect your question, if that's okay, to the Vice Mayor.
I got a very lovely gift basket yesterday from the Chabad, and just out of optical purposes, I just want to make sure the day before a vote, me getting a basket does not conflict with my vote on this. Out of an abundance of caution, I'd like to recuse myself, just out of respect for the process and for everything. I'm really grateful for it. It was very nice, but the gift threshold did not hit the $100 limit anywhere close to it, but I still, just out of an abundance of caution, also for appearances as well, I'd like to just recuse myself from that.
So then I have a quick question, because I know you're calling it a gift basket. It was a little box that had 3 items. There was some candies. It's for Purim, so it was candies and a cookie and something else. I received one last week. I don't know why the time difference, but so is this something? I'm just curious, because we receive something from the Chabad frequently. I mean, they'll drop off bread or, to celebrate the holidays. I sent mine to California to my daughter and son-in-law. They celebrate the Jewish holidays. So I'm just curious, should I recuse myself?
As I understand it, this was a Purim gift,
Yes.
which
Yeah.
happens to coincide with tonight. So, happy Purim for everyone who celebrates. I don't think you have to recuse yourself. I don't think it rises to the level of a mandatory recusal. To the extent anyone feels that in an abundance of caution, because of an appearance of bias or impropriety, that they would like to, I certainly think they can. As long as you fill out the form and comply with all the requirements, but I don't think it's a mandatory voting recusal.
My follow-up question would be simply, so my understanding, because I've had to recuse myself once years ago. Looking back, I learned later I probably didn't need to recuse myself, because I thought, my understanding is that you recuse yourself if you're receiving some monetary benefit.
Yeah, it's called a special benefit inures to you or a close family member. The way it's interpreted, the ethics code's interpreted, a special benefit is a monetary benefit or avoidance of a monetary detriment, something that would cost you otherwise, and it's not so remote in time, and you're not part of a larger group. There's an analysis that goes into it as to whether the group is so large that you wouldn't have to, or if you would. But it's tied to a monetary benefit in terms of the mandatory ethics recusals. Yes. So not cookies. No.
Okay. Last follow-up question then: if there is an ethics violation filed against, I plan on voting. I don't perceive any bias, and we've certainly voted to share our beautiful Thalata space in the past with the Chabad and many other organizations throughout the community. If there is an ethics violation filed against myself or one of my colleagues, is that something you feel that you can defend us on?
Based on the information I know, I mean, given what the gift was, given that it's related specifically to Purim, which just happens to coincide with the council meeting, and given the pool that I think of other people who have received it, I wouldn't be advising you that I didn't think that I didn't think you were required to recuse yourself, but I didn't think it was defensible. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I hope that answers.
It answers my questions, yeah. I plan on voting.
Mayor?
Other questions? Yes, Councilmember Cody.
With regard to that, we have a procedure whereby things can be taken off the consent agenda, correct?
Yeah, there's if it gets notified, so there's a couple ways. One of them is a council member can notify staff that they wish to pull it by noon today, and that's for any reason. There are a couple others. One of them talks about if the attorney determines that there's I'll have to pull it up. It's in section 2. I think it's 2.47, but there are a couple of others outside of that. The attorney determines a council member has a conflict of interest, if the council by majority of vote chooses to remove it, or if a council member who desires an item be removed because of a hardship. It also, those are also laid out in the code.
Well, then I would ask you, you phrased it as, we will have to pull it. Are we required to vote to pull those things out of the consent agenda?
I don't think so. I mean, if somebody's recusing themselves, they would have to be able to vote on the other items on consent. Either or they don't vote on consent. But I think it can just be pulled if there's an ethics, if somebody's filing the form to recuse themselves.
But again, that's not something that is required. It is not a fait accompli, correct?
That is not specifically spelled out in the code, no, as a basis. No.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Are there other questions, comments? Okay. Anything for the attorney's report? Excellent. Madam Clerk, you're next.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, members of the council, and members of the public. I'm here to report on the announcement of the public meetings for the month of March 2026. A Parks and Recreation Committee meeting is scheduled for Thursday, March 5th at 6 p.m. The Village Council will host its quarterly virtual Committee of the Whole workshop on Tuesday, March 10th at 7 p.m. The Charter Revision Commission meeting is scheduled for Wednesday. I apologize, let me take that back. The Charter Revision Commission is meeting on Tuesday, March 31st at 6 p.m. I had a mix-up with the date. And a local planning agency meeting is occurring prior to the zoning hearing, both occurring on Monday, March 16th at 7 p.m. The LPA will precede the zoning hearing, and immediately after, the zoning hearing will occur. And the Tree Advisory Board is meeting on Monday, March 30th at 5 p.m. All public meetings provide an opportunity for the public to stay informed and actively participate. And the next regular council meeting of the council is scheduled for Monday, April 6th at 7 p.m. Last but not least, regarding advisory boards and committees, both council members Steve Cody and Vice Mayor Mark Meritzer have vacancies. Mr. Cody has a vacancy on the Parks and Recreation Committee, and Vice Mayor Mark Meritzer has a vacancy on the Education Advisory Committee. Any resident who is interested in serving and contributing to the community are extremely encouraged to apply. Information is available on our village website, and a copy of those solicitation notices are provided in tonight's agenda packet. Thank you, and this concludes my calendar report.
Thank you. Are there questions for the clerk? Go ahead, Vice Mayor.
Yeah, I'm making travel plans for the 4th of July at the moment. I saw that we had the budget workshop. I'm still totally flexible with the plans, but I'd like to know if it's at the pleasure of this council, if y'all would be open to, in the event, or I guess either next meeting or the meeting after would be May, to move the budget workshop to right after the zoning hearing, which is the week before, if that's possible with staff, and also at the pleasure of council, so that we essentially have the gap between the zoning hearing and the regular council meeting in June, in July, to be able to travel. It's at the pleasure of the council. Again, I'm flexible, but I greatly appreciate it. I'm trying to go see my grandfather.
A quick question for the clerk related to the Vice Mayor's request, or actually manager or clerk. We already chose the dates, correct?
Yes.
And I know there's some legality in the dates, right? Is there? No, we can just change the dates. I don't mind changing for me, I don't mind changing the date. I don't want to do it after a zoning hearing. We made very clear statements last budget cycle, wanting more people to get involved. I think if you do a whole zoning hearing and then we're going to throw this in, it's going to be 9 o'clock at night. I don't think anyone's going to be that interested. Honestly, I don't know whether we have any zoning items at this time for July, but if we could just, can we take this up via email where we just send some potential dates? Why don't you give your potential dates and then we can do it. Is it okay, Mr. Attorney, to do it by email?
Yeah, I would
Through
just,
the
I
clerk.
would communicate with the clerk, and the
Yeah.
clerk can let us all know who's available when. Madam Mayor, I would tell you, in terms of, just so there's not confusion, you were correct in terms of the budget restrictions, but that's for the hearings, the budget hearings, not
Thank
the
you.
workshops.
Thank you.
So
Thanks.
if we get to the budget hearings, there we will have more restrictions on when we
Thank
can
you.
schedule those.
Well, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, the date would be June 16th, which would be 1 week earlier than the currently scheduled workshop. And also keep in mind for the council as well, I assume I'm not the only one traveling for the 4th of July. So just if we want to engage residents on this, this could be a way of making it easier for people to come to the workshop. So
Would you mind providing the dates of your travel so we can kind of, in case it,
I don't have it scheduled yet. My preferred date would be to be on the 17th through the 4th, but that's,
all right, so we'll take it up via email, Madam Clerk, if that's okay. And then if we need to in April, come back with a different date, we can do that, but maybe we can take care of it through you, would be great. Okay, is there anything else for Madam Clerk? All right, thanks. We're going to move to the board and committee reports. Would someone make a motion to approve them?
Move it.
Is there a second?
second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? I did want to mention, as it relates to the committees and, Madam Clerk, your comments regarding the openings. I did connect, I believe you, it was maybe several weeks ago, so my memory might be failing, but I did send or connect you with somebody that was interested in filling out an application. I believe it was for the Education Advisory Board or Parks, I can't quite remember which, so I don't know, but maybe you can speak once the application comes in and share it with the two individuals that have openings. I appreciate it, thanks. All right, Mr. Attorney, would this be an okay time for me to make a request for this item?
Yes, I think now would be appropriate.
Thank you. I have an item that is in front of you. It's related to the property tax, the potential for property tax legislation. It also includes homestead exemptions in increments, et cetera. I was on a Miami-Dade League of Cities meeting with Mayor Levine Cava, and this item is actually a template with our information plugged in that was sent by Mayor Levine Cava for our consideration. I received it. Councilmember Cody was also on the call. We didn't have any discussion back and forth about it, but I forwarded the template and asked the manager and attorney to review it for legal sufficiency and fill in the information as it relates to the Village of Palmetto Bay, and would like to add it because it was after the deadline for adding. Vice Mayor?
I move to add it to the consent agenda.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, thank you. So that went on the consent agenda. Thank you. All right. We don't have any emergency ordinances. We have one ordinance for first reading. Madam, would I get somebody to move that item?
Move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, can you please read item 11A?
An ordinance of the mayor and village council of the Village of Palmetto Bay, Florida regarding council committees, amending the code of ordinances of the Village of Palmetto Bay at section 2-46 committees to revise and amend provisions relating to the establishment, composition, duties, and procedures of council committees, providing for codification, severability, and an effective date. This ordinance is being heard on first reading. It's sponsored by Councilmember Marsha Matson and co-sponsored by Village Clerk Missy Arocha.
Thank you. At this time, we'll take public comment. Seeing none, do we have any comments by form?
No comments by form.
All right, with that, we turn it over to Councilwoman Matson. But I'm so sorry for the clarification. I'm going to take more time just to learn about the timer. So in this portion, while she's giving her comments for her item, because she's actually giving the report, by our ordinance, are we keeping time?
No, I would not, because this is akin to how staff
report.
would be presenting.
I just
as
wanted to
well.
make
Yeah.
sure as I'm going through it. Go ahead, Councilwoman. Thanks.
All right, this is an item that the clerk, Ms. Oroche, and I discussed as a follow-up to what we did back in May of 2019. When I was first elected, she and I got together and essentially rewrote the code on committees. And it's worked out, we think, pretty well, but of course it needs some adjustment. As a result, we met a few months ago and determined that we would offer some recommendations for reform of the committee code. And so at this point, I would like to call up the village clerk to give the presentation with her permission, with your permission.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Marsha Matson. As she said, I worked with Councilmember Marsha Matson on revisiting this particular code section referenced as 2-46 as it relates to our advisory boards and committees. The proposal before you updates and modernizes the village code provisions governing our existing boards and committees, as the last update to this particular section of the code was completed in 2019. The proposal clarifies committee missions and scopes, updates membership and appointment procedures, establishes clear rules for voting and attendance, and enhances transparency requirements, including provisions related to minutes, agenda deadlines, and video recordings. Overall, the purpose of this ordinance is to promote consistency, efficiency, and good governance in the operation of our existing boards and committees. The ordinance on first reading in front of you provides you with the additions to the code section by the underline, and the deletions are shown with a strike through. And I can quickly go over those suggestions with you if you like. If you look at page 208, section 2-49 of committees, we're proposing deleting that particular code section because the Village Heritage Committee did complete their mission and scope, and that group did sunset. So this provision cleans out the code because that group no longer exists. Page 3 of 8, our code does include the Parks and Recreation Committee. Several years ago, the council agreed to adopt a resiliency committee. So this proposal will bring the resiliency committee under this particular code section and also lays out the mission and purpose that was adopted by the council when the resiliency committee came to fruition by the council. For membership appointments, specifically, we're adding via resolution. For example, the council shall appoint a non-voting council liaison to each board or committee via resolution. And we believe that it would be appropriate that the manager would designate a non-voting staff representative to each board or committee. That's the procedure that has been followed. That's the procedure that we do. And we wanted to modify it, not modify, but include it in the code at the discretion of the village manager, since that is already being followed. Page 5 of 8, it delineates that a council member shall not appoint an individual to a board or committee who already serves on one or more boards or committees. Consistent with the most recent policy that was adopted by council regarding remote attendance, we included a provision here that states that remote attendance shall not be allowed by advisory board or committee members. And this one actually stood out, and this is a recommendation by the majority members of advisory boards and committees. If the recording secretary is absent, the members of the advisory board or committee who are present shall select an interim recording secretary to prepare the minutes. What's been happening is if the existing secretary of the group misses the meeting for whatever reason, the group sometimes has a hard time choosing someone to temporarily take the minutes. So this just formalizes the code and notifies the group that if the secretary is absent, someone will be in charge of taking the minutes. Page 6 of 8, a video recording of the meeting shall be made available for public inspection and maintained by the village in accordance with applicable public records requirements. So this section will substitute the existing section that talks about the live streaming. We don't live stream advisory boards and committees. In lieu, what we do is we record them, and the video recording is saved for the public record and provided if someone needs it. And those are our proposals.
Thank you. Questions? Comments? Okay, very good. Let's call the roll.
Councilmember Marsha Matson,
Yes.
Mayor Karen Cunningham,
Yes.
Councilmember Patrick Fiore,
Yes.
Councilmember Steve Cody,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mark Meritzer.
Yes.
Thank you.
Item passes. And Missy, thank you for your
Thank you, Missy.
presentation. Yeah, thank you. All right, Mr. Attorney, I have to come back to you because we're on consent agenda now, but I was still just a tiny bit confused. Are we voting on the entire consent agenda? Am I pulling items? Do we have to vote to pull items 12A and B? What exactly happens here?
12A and B, I'm going to pull as the attorney, since there's somebody who is filing an ethics recusal. If they believe that they have a voting conflict, then I need to abide by that.
Very good. I just wanted to,
Madam Mayor, point of order.
Yes.
12A deals with Title VI non-discrimination policy. B and C deal with the Chabad.
Thank you.
sorry.
My apologies,
Yeah.
Councilmember Cody. Yes, B and C. Thank
Okay.
you for catching that, sorry.
all right, so, yeah, I just wanted some direction. I'm comfortable with that for sure. All right, so I'm going to take items B and C, and I'm going to, because they were on the consent agenda, move them before, we'll leave the numbers the same, Madam Clerk, if that's all right. So it'll be 12B, 12C, and we'll take them before the other items, rather than putting it at the end of the agenda. And just also for clarification, we added 12H to the consent agenda, which now consists of item 12A, item 12D, item 12E, item 12F, item 12G, and then item 12H.
Madam Mayor, I pulled item G.
Oh, my apologies. Was item,
Yes.
yeah, okay.
The branding.
One moment. Then we're going to put item 12G under B and C at the top of the resolutions, and we will have item 12A, item 12D, item 12E, item 12F, and then item 12H. Would somebody move those items?
Hold on, Madam Mayor, can I amend the consent agenda?
Sorry?
I'd like to make a motion on the consent agenda before we vote on it.
Okay, go ahead.
I'd like to add items 14C, 14D, and 14E to the consent agenda.
I want to talk about 14E, so I would prefer that not be on there.
That's fine.
What were the other ones?
It was 14C and D.
I would prefer to talk about D.
Okay, 14C to the consent agenda.
Nice, 14C. That is your motion. Is there a
Madam
second?
Mayor?
Yes.
Yeah, because well, 14C I'd like to discuss too.
Okay. Are you okay with withdrawing your motion then?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Now we're back on the consent agenda. Could I get somebody to move the consent agenda? It's been moved by Councilmember Cody. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? All right. Rolling, here we go. We don't have any resolutions requiring public hearing. I know that we've got a couple of items that I think I'd like to make sure we have everybody present for, meaning the few people that are in the audience. We've got item 14B. Would anybody mind moving item 14B
Move
forward?
it.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, Madam Clerk, can you read item 14B?
A resolution of the Mayor and Village Council of the Village of Palmetto Bay, Florida regarding parks and recreation, authorizing the use of Talata Estate at no cost to Shabbat of Palmetto Bay and Deering Bay on March 3rd, 2026, for the purpose of hosting a
I'm sorry.
holiday.
I'm going to put a pause. 14B. It's the new commander one. That's all right. No, because there's a 12B that I added, and I said put them at the top. Yes. Then-
Okay.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
It's okay. Item 14B, a resolution of the Mayor and Village Council of the Village of Palmetto Bay, Florida relating to personnel, ratifying the selection of Major Antonio Rodriguez to the position of Village Commander for the Palmetto Bay Municipal District to fill the current vacancy in accordance with the terms and conditions delineated in the village's interlocal agreement with the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office for the provision of local police services and providing for an effective date. This resolution is sponsored by administration and prepared by Village Manager Nick Morano.
Thank you. Public comment?
My name is Donald Parker, 9280 Southwest 167 Terrace, Palmetto Bay. I think we're going to have a great commander. We already have a great commander. I think we're going to have another great commander. And I ask that you vote yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Excuse me. Any other comments? Okay. Madam Clerk, do we have any by form?
No items by form.
Okay. With that, I'm going to turn it over to the village manager.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Mayor and members of the Village Council, about 6 months ago, the village was looking at potentially replacing both our lieutenant and our major from the Sheriff's Municipal District here in Palmetto Bay. Both of those officers had extensive experience here in Palmetto Bay, and that represented a really devastating loss in leadership and experience here. Lieutenant Rodriguez, or then Lieutenant Rodriguez, retired. We had been looking at replacements for Lieutenant Rodriguez at the time. There became a possibility based on authority that the sheriff has to bring an officer back 6 months after they have retired from active duty. We pursued that with the sheriff's office, and on February 18th, I'm very pleased to announce the sheriff agreed, and she is going to bring back former Lieutenant Antonio Rodriguez, promote him to the rank of major effective April 13th, and assign him to the Palmetto Bay Municipal District of the Sheriff's Office. Per the interlocal agreement that we have at the village with the Sheriff's Office, the manager gets to select the commander. As this is a department director level position, by code, the village council has to ratify that appointment. That's what this resolution is in front of you. You all know Lieutenant Rodriguez very well. Major Guerra is going to leave shoes that are very big and very hard to fill. Lieutenant Rodriguez, of all the people we could have potentially found to fill those shoes, is by far the best possible candidate. And I'm very pleased to present him to you this evening, and I know he's in the back of the room. If I could ask Major Rodriguez to step up and say a few words to the village council. Thank you.
Good evening, Major.
Evening, ma'am. It's the first time I hear that. Good evening, Madam Mayor, council members, Mr. Manager, and charter officers. I'd also like to recognize the department directors, staff, and village residents joining us this evening. I want to sincerely thank the Village Council for considering me for the position of Police Major and your village commander. It is truly an honor to be entrusted with the opportunity to serve the Palmetto Bay community in such an important role. I recognize the responsibility that comes with this consideration and I am truly grateful for your confidence in me. Public safety is one of the primary functions of law enforcement. I believe it to be the foundation of a thriving community such as Palmetto Bay, as did the village's founders, who identified safety as one of its 3 original fundamental principles. Today, the village is comprised of people from varying backgrounds that still share a common goal of living and working in a safe and secure community and environment. Village residents deserve to feel safe in their homes, secure in their neighborhoods, and confident in the professionalism of those who serve them. If selected as your police commander, I pledge to ensure that our residents continue to receive the highest level of professional police services. Our Sheriff's Office is fortunate to have forged such a strong partnership with the Village Council, staff, and residents. That relationship is a result of the personal efforts of my predecessors, who included the likes of Major Greg Truitt, Major Gaddy Soralta, who is your current United States Marshal, and the one and only Major Mari Guerra, your current Major. Very big shoes to fill, sir. Very big shoes to fill. I see each of them as a mentor, and I'm committed to strengthening the relationships that they've fostered even further. Our deputies have worked very diligently to achieve and maintain a record low crime rate, and some of them are standing behind me in the back of this room now as I speak. This is an impressive achievement that reflects not only proactive and effective law enforcement, but also an engaged and cooperative community. My goal is simple: to protect that record and work diligently every day to improve upon it. This means serving our residents with honor, integrity, and professionalism, as well as partnering with the community to ensure law and order, safety, and trust through fair and transparent efforts, as is the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office mission statement. I believe leadership to be about accountability, collaboration, and service. My 33-year career with Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office as a patrol officer, first-line supervisor, and section commander in various roles and assignments have molded and prepared me for this very moment. More importantly, I proudly served you as your village commander for the last 7 years, your operations commander. I now stand ready to assume the role of police major and be your village commander. I will lead with integrity, listen to your concerns, and ensure that the village remains a safe and welcoming place for families, businesses, and visitors alike. Those familiar with my work ethic know that I speak these words with conviction, intent, and from the heart. I thank you for this opportunity to share my vision with you, and it would be an honor and a privilege to serve you once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Major. Thank you. Oh, put your hands together. So we'll take questions for the manager. Yes, sir?
Yeah, very important question. Are you going to get back the fishing rod?
Sir, I knew that that would be a question that might arise this evening, and I don't know if this is going to be a conflict, but I promise to bring fish, lots of fish. And that, the manager was okay with that compromise.
Thank you. And I'm so sorry to do this in the middle of this, but Carla, that was just a question that he asked, so he still has 10 minutes on this item. And I'm just following along. I'm trying to make sure that I'm on top of it. Other questions? Go ahead. You have another question?
Yes. After the item passes, can we all get a photo? Thank you.
All right. Anyone else with questions? All right. Comments? Councilmember Cody?
Thank you. I'm very pleased to support the appointment of our now Major Antonio Rodriguez as our new village commander. You're not new to Palmetto Bay. You've already served this community with professionalism, steadfastness, and commitment. Many of our residents know you, and more importantly, they trust you. Continuity in public safety leadership matters. It matters for morale within the unit, it matters for responsiveness, and it matters for maintaining the strong relationship between our law enforcement officers and the residents that they serve. I also want to thank Major Mari Guerra for her distinguished service and wish her the very best in her retirement. 3 of us up here on the dais are grandparents, and we can assure, each of us can assure you that what you're about to experience will be among the best days of your life. Leadership transitions are important moments, and I'm confident that Major Rodriguez will carry forward the high standards that he has already exemplified and that our community expects. Major, I also would ask you to convey to your wife and to your kids our thanks for their lending you to us. For those reasons, I enthusiastically support this resolution and look forward to working with you, sir, for at least the next 2+ years.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Other comments? Councilmember Fiore?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor. I did speak with Mr. Rodriguez, and I did speak with the village manager. Any issues or concerns I had were alleviated. In addition to the fishing rod, will you be bringing back the box of cigars? That's the other big question. You don't have to answer that. Listen, since I was elected again in 2018, I've been here and seen the job that Lieutenant Rodriguez did. I think I have nothing else to say other than the fact that you'll not find a more professional police officer in the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office. Well, you might, but for me, no. So I know my time here is limited, and I'm not talking about the clock, but I wholeheartedly, as Mr. Cody said, support you in this role, and I'm happy not only to call you Major when this is done, hopefully, but you're also my friend. Thank you very much, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember Fiore. Councilwoman Mattson? No. All right, then I'll wrap it up. Listen, what else can be said? First of all, I'm obviously supporting the item. You and I talked a lot over time, I think, about legacy in our community. And at the end of the day, legacy is about people. Our city, really 25,000 amazing residents. We don't all agree on everything, but the one thing we do agree on is public safety. I have no doubt you will bring the same level of professionalism, but also the same level of humanism to each and every resident in our village. And so a little part of me says, since I'll be wrapping up along with my colleague, Councilmember Fiore and Councilwoman Mattson, I think you'll be a little bit of the legacy that the 3 of us leave. So I thank you for your service past and the service future. Really care about you, so thank you. Commander, more soon, because I'm going to have a big, long speech. It might exceed 10 minutes when we're seeing you go. You're an amazing friend, amazing leader, and I know Tony has learned a lot under your steadfast watch. So it's going to be all good things, I think, moving forward. With that, let's call the roll on this before we take a picture.
Vice Mayor Mark Meritzer,
Yes.
Councilmember Steve Cody,
Yes.
Councilmember Patrick Fiore.
Yes.
Mayor Karen Cunningham,
Yes.
Councilmember Marsha Mattson.
Yes. Commander Guerra? All right, we're not recessing, we're just going to step away for one quick second and take a picture. Is that all right with you, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Commander? Yes, thank you. Is it Commander-elect, or what do they call when you're like interim? What are you? What's the title?
Nobody. Nobody yet.
Nobody yet. Major Guerra, come on up. Major, do you want your team back there with you, or right?
My team?
Yeah, come on, team.
Can we get just?
Yeah, two, okay. You want us to get out?
No,
Is this good, or do you want to split up? Another big round of applause. Hey, Nick, what are the two ladies here for? Is it? Okay, all right, let's go back to the beginning, at least for the moment. Excuse me, item 12B. Would somebody, this was the one that was pulled from, one of three that's pulled from the agenda, from the consent agenda.
Move it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, please read the item.
Item 12B, a resolution of the mayor and village council of the village of Palmetto Bay, Florida regarding parks and recreation, authorizing the use of the Lada Estate at no cost to Shabbat of Palmetto Bay and Deering Bay on March 3rd, 2026, for the purpose of hosting a Holiday of Purim event and providing an effective date. This resolution is sponsored by administration and prepared by Parks and Recreation Director Fanny Carmona.
I'm sure we don't have any public well, I'm sorry, do we have public comment for it here in the audience? And I know we can't, we have one by, okay. All right, I'm surprised because it was on consent agenda. Okay, go ahead.
One public comment was submitted by form for item 12B. The comment was received by Linda Miller, 8801 Southwest 176th Street. The Village of Palmetto Bay must charge the Shabbat of Palmetto Bay and Deering Bay for the cost of insurance, setup, cleanup, and staff for their event on March 3rd. This should not be for free.
Thank you. All right, we'll take the staff report.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Fanny Carmona, Parks and Recreation Director. This is a fee waiver from the Shabbat of Palmetto Bay to host an event at the Lada Estate on March 3rd, and they're asking for a fee waiver of fees. Answer any questions?
Questions? Yes. Councilmember Fiore, then Councilwoman
Yeah,
Mattson.
thank you. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Director Carmona, for both these events, is there admission charged?
I'm not sure, sir.
I think that's something that needs to be, we need to have answered. Because if it is, I would advocate that Palmetto Bay residents should at least get some type of discount. I don't know how the rest of you feel, but I don't know. I mean, I think that's information we should have. I want to support this, but that's very, very important to me, anyway. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Excuse me, thank you. Councilwoman, you had a question, I think?
I have a question, but I just wanted to respond to Commissioner that this is a total fee waiver of
His question was,
$4,060 that is waived for them.
I think his question had to do with, do you have information regarding his question, which was, are they charging?
No, I don't
Okay.
have any information on that. I do have a question for the director. I notice on both of these items that the number of guests is 49. Now, is there something in the parks procedure that something happens at 50 guests?
So at 50 guests, you have to pay for the fee, the parking lot fee and valet services. Anything over 49 and under does not require that. They would only have to pay for the security services, which that is not waived. They are having to pay for that.
Okay, so is this supposed to, is this supposed to be an accurate number of how many
That's the
people
number that
are?
they gave us.
Okay.
We asked them the number of attendants, and that's the number that they gave us.
Thank you.
Quick question. Sorry, it is not wise to eat chips. Well, sorry, I skipped dinner. As far as the rental itself, right, just the calendar for the rental, was there anyone else scheduled to use the space?
No.
Okay, there's been no inquiries to use so the spaces would just sit empty for this this particular date? Okay.
Correct.
Would you anticipate that this is a prime time and that individuals, there might be something that comes tomorrow?
Don't think so. It's a Tuesday evening. It's not a popular date for.
Thank you. Very good. All right. Anything else? Are there comments?
I'd like to comment.
Yes, please.
Okay, I noticed that with these two items, both of them being from requests from Chabad for fee waivers, that it totals, this one is for $4,060 and the next one is for $6,643 for a total of $10,703 for a fee waiver. I just wanted to point that out. I'm going to be making a presentation on fee waivers at some point soon. I've been collecting information about fee waivers for the last years, and I think really the council needs to address the situation of fee waivers. Thank you.
I don't have an actual question, but is there a response for?
Difference in charges based on the date of the week and the actual fees for Thalata. So the second rental is on a Sunday, which the rental amount package is $5,000 versus on a Tuesday, it's $2,500 for the area that they're asking for.
What is the area that they're asking for?
Actually, it's the entire package. No, I'm sorry, it's the outdoor terrace.
I'm sorry?
The outdoor terrace.
Outdoor terrace, that's what I thought. All right, very good. Anything else? All right, this is a resolution, so I'm going to call it quit. You have more comments?
I do. So are the figures in your report, in the memo, are they incorrect then? For example, one is $6,643.74, and the other one is $4,060.01. Is that incorrect, according to what you just said?
The numbers are correct.
And so what you just said sounded like a smaller figure because of the site in Thalata where they're going to be using it. So that's not contradictory. It sounded contradictory to me.
If you turn to page 247, it's a detailed line item by line item of the fees. 2,500 is for the outdoor terrace. To that, you have to add the string lights, facility service fee, taxes, and then the security event service cost. To that amount, then we add the staff amount, and that's how we come up to the total of $4,060.01.
All right, anything else? All right, I'm going to call the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? All right, item passes. Can we go to the next one, which will be item 12C? Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, can you read the item?
A resolution of the Mayor and Village Council of the Village of Palmetto Bay, Florida regarding Parks and Recreation, authorizing the use of Thalata Estate at no cost to Shabbat of Palmetto Bay and Deering Bay on March 29, 2026, for the purpose of hosting a community get-together event, providing for an effective date. This resolution is sponsored by administration and prepared by Parks and Recreation Director Fanny Carmona.
Thank you. Public comment? Yep, there you go. Madam Clerk, do we have any for this item?
One item,
Okay.
one public comment was submitted for this item.
Great, we'll hear here and then we'll go there. Go ahead, name and address.
F. Gerald, 14271 Southwest 74th Court. And seeing, since both of these items, the first one, I believe if I heard the Parks Director correctly, that the expected number of attendees at both of these was 49, but the second one is hosting a community get-together event. And that certainly sounds like it would be a larger number of attendees. So how can you say 49 from both if you're asking the community to come? It seemed to me then it would exceed 49. So that's something that doesn't make sense to me. And then it seems if that is the case, it exceeds 49, then there would be costs that the Chabad would have to pay. So it'd be nice to have that clarified.
Thank you. All right, anybody else? And Madam Clerk, then the one comment by form.
The comment was received by Linda Miller, 8801 Southwest 176th Street. Again, we must not provide the Thalata Estate for free to the Shabbat of Palmetto Bay and Deering Bay. We are not a charity organization. There are fees that are procured with the use of this property. The Shabbat must at least pay for insurance, setup, cleanup, and all staff required for the day on March 29, 2026.
Thank you. Staff report, I guess.
Evening again. This is a second request for a March 29th community get-together event, and they're again asking for the same fee waivers for the use of the facility.
Wonderful, thank you. Questions? Go ahead.
Yes, I'd like to do a follow-up to the residents' public comment, and that is, if there are more people attending, for example, a community-wide event, does the Parks Department go back and charge for the extra service?
Yes, so for this event, there will have to do a special event permit, and we will track, the requirements will be that they have to do an RSVP and stay within the numbers that they presented to us, or if they exceed that number, then they would have to pay for the additional services.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right. Okay, any comments?
Yeah, Madam Mayor?
Yes.
Okay, so do we know is there a charge for this at the door?
I don't know. You'd have to ask the director.
I don't know.
They do have to do a special event permit, and that should be disclosed, and we should have that answer for you, Councilman.
Well,
But I don't think...
that makes a big difference. Thank you, Mr. Manager. That makes a big difference for me because I would put an amendment that if there is a charge at the door, the Palmetto Bay residents should receive a 50% discount. I'm going to make that amendment just because I don't have all the information. I would like to support it, but in lieu of whatever, I think that's the amendment I would put forward. But
Okay, that's your amendment. Is there a second? I'll second it for the purposes of discussion. Go ahead, council member.
Well, that was it. If there's a charge at the door and it's going over the 49 people, then Palmetto Bay residents should receive a 50% discount. Now, that'll be not up to us, not up to staff, that'll be up to the event holder to verify that. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. By the way, I'm just trying to keep on track here with the time. I'm still seeing Councilwoman Mattson, although she is about to speak. So I just want to make sure we're switching. Oh, you're working on it. I'm so sorry. Thank you. I didn't see you down there. Thank you. All right, Councilwoman. I'm sorry.
All right, so I do have a question for the attorney.
Go ahead. It's right there.
My question is that legally permitted to charge people who are not residents and who are residents a different amount of money for Thalata?
Well, it's not necessarily charging them a different amount for Thalata. It's in consideration for a fee waiver. So I would look at it slightly differently from a legal standpoint. I mean, I'd have to confirm, but at first blush, I think we could probably do it, since what we're doing is doing a fee waiver. It isn't a blanket. We're charging different people different prices for Thalata. It's in exchange for us foregoing other monies.
If I could, sorry, Madam Director, I think, I know we've talked in the past before, different parks, different contracts like Coral Reef. We don't have resident versus, anyone else. Perrine Community House, it's the same. I'm just wondering if it's the same for this as well. And maybe that's something Attorney Quick wouldn't know, so.
Well, I think in this case, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the way I'm seeing it is, we, the village, would not be able to assess different fees for residents versus non-residents, but this is not our event. So this is a private event, and if they choose to charge differently, I don't think there's any on our end.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, we're still charging the same fee. We're just waiving it, and we're saying in consideration of that, we would ask that you give a break to our residents who might be attending.
Okay, so that means legally, the motion that was made by Councilmember Fiore, if we support it, we're fine.
Yeah, I think I'm okay with it, yes.
Okay, very good. Yes.
If I may?
Yes.
Thank you. I have a problem, with all due respect to my colleague, of us telling a religious organization what they must do and what they can't do, and how much they can charge, and how much of a discount they can give. If they want to charge people $1,000 a head to get into this, I know that they wouldn't. And then I don't think it's for us to say, but you've got to charge people in Palmetto Bay who live here only $500 or $1 versus 50 cents. I think that we run into a potential problem under the First Amendment if we start telling a religious organization what they must or can do or can't do. So I would caution us at doing this, because if we've been upset about the cost of attorney's fees, defending a federal action under Section 1983 can be very expensive. So with all due respect, I will not be supporting this amendment.
All right, thank you. All right, anything else? We're back on the motion made by Councilmember Fiore, seconded by me. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
No.
Okay, so the motion fails. Now we're back on the item, the original item. There's no amendment to it. We haven't voted yet, Vice Mayor. Sorry. That was just a motion. Okay. Anything else? Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. It was 4, is that right? Yeah, 4-0. Very good. All right. Okay, Vice Mayor. Sorry, we were voting on a motion. All right, now we're on to item G. It's 12G. Would somebody, that was pulled from the consent agenda, would somebody move that?
Move it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, can you please read the item?
A resolution of the mayor and village council of the village of Palmetto Bay, Florida, regarding the procurement of bus stop amenities and monument entrance signs as part of the village-wide branding implementation, authorizing the manager to enter into a contract with Rep Services, piggybacking off of Clay County, Florida contract for the purchase of bus stop amenities, authorizing the manager to enter into a contract and installation agreement with Gardner Signs, doing business as Ferrin Signs, for the fabrication, permitting, and installation of 2 monument entrance signs, authorizing total expenditures in an amount not to exceed $117,834.60, plus applicable permit costs, providing for an effective date. This resolution is sponsored by administration and prepared by Parks and Recreation Director Fanny Carmona and Planning and Zoning Director Javier Gonzalez.
Public comment? Okay, seeing none. Madam Clerk, do you have any comments by form?
No comments by form.
All right, staff report. Actually, let me just do this. You pulled the item, correct? Can you give us some highlights?
I have 4 questions that I have as a result of a resident's email to us.
Okay, great. If it's okay, since it was just pulled, if you all are okay with it, rather than hearing the whole staff report, can we just ask, come on up, and we'll just get the questions out of the way.
First question is, what is the location of the other monument signs that were referred to in the memo?
Good evening, Madam Mayor and council members. The 2 locations we're looking at are the gateways to the village, approximately south of 136th Street and US 1, and the other location is on 183rd Street and US 1, the 2 existing entry monuments.
Your memo referred to other monuments. Did I misread that? The resident also mentioned that there are other monuments?
There's one other monument on Oak Cutler, just north of 184th Street, but that is not a part of this resolution to replace that monument sign.
Will these new monument signs replace the current ones?
That's correct.
And are these new monument signs going to be solar powered?
My understanding is that there is solar power equipment there. That is a possibility. The second option would be to run electrical power because the signs are illuminated. They will be, at night will be illuminated.
So you haven't decided, I take it, which way to do it, solar or electric wire?
The fabrication of the design includes lighting at night. We haven't spoken to the sign fabricator as to those details, but I believe that permanent electrical power would be a much better option than the solar power.
And what will happen to the existing bus benches?
We will replace the old outdated bus benches with the new design, and the old ones probably be stored or discarded away.
Discarded.
I do have one comment.
Sure, let me just find out. Does anyone else have any questions on the item? We'll take Vice Mayor and then Councilmember Fiore.
Sure. So on both the signs and the benches, I'm wondering if there's a way we can incorporate an AIPP elements into either of those so that we can show a little bit more character of Palmetto Bay. I was looking at the pictures. They're a little bit generic, which is totally fine. I don't really have a problem with the item, but it would just be nice to have to see if we can do an AIPP element for any of these.
Mr. Manager?
What would that be? I mean, would we go back and start from zero because we actually had a branding consultant who did the original ones? I mean, again, I'm not opposed to doing it, just what would the intent be?
Mainly, for example, I've seen on some of the bus benches across the county, for example, they usually put advertising there, which I'm not a fan of. So I'm thinking instead of advertising, for example, is there a way we can incorporate any kind of AIPP elements? It could be a separate item. I just want to put it out there. That's something I'm thinking about.
For the bus benches, I don't think the artistic rendition shows the village logos on them, does it? I mean, I'm looking at it.
I'm not talking about the village logos or anything. I'm just saying as a separate.
Right, I understand. Oh, you're right, it does have the logo on it. Okay.
All right. Anyone else? Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor. Patrick Fiore is
yeah,
my
you
name.
got it.
Thank
Thank
you very
you.
much. I'm here for
You got
7
it.
more
You
months.
got it.
I just want to follow up what Dr. Mattson said, so I'll address it to the manager. The sign on Old Cutler Road as you come into the city, that's not part of this, right?
No.
Okay. I would suggest to my colleagues, that sign is lame. Okay? Let's replace the sign. Someone very, that's lame. Okay, how's that, Mr. Manager? Is that okay?
No, I agree 100%.
All right, thank you very much.
And maybe this could be the AIPP tie-in, because the village council appropriated $150,000 for these village-wide branding enhancements, of which the benches, the trash cans, and the monument signs represent that. So maybe we could look at an AIPP project to answer the vice mayor's proposal, maybe that's how we fund the Old Cutler Road and 184th one. It'd be a different source of funding.
Councilwoman Mattson?
Well, this brings up a very interesting discussion because AIPP in their last meeting did put on their agenda that they're going to be talking about art benches, and especially in the parks, but it could include our bus benches. So my feeling is we should refer this to the AIPP and ask them what they think about that. Is there any support for that? I'll make a motion if there's some support for that. All right, I'm going to make a motion to refer this to the AIPP and for their input on artistic design on the benches and the monument signs.
Second for discussion.
That is your motion?
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
Could I be recognized for one
Yes.
moment? And respectfully, Dr. Mattson, I was just advised there may be language in our code against AIPP getting involved in signage. The village attorney is looking it up right now.
Take just a brief moment. While you're doing that, Eric and Carla, so yeah, explain to me how I can help you. How you can help me, help you, help us. Okay, so yeah, and that's a really good point. So we're on a motion now. Well, we're not quite on the motion just at the moment, we will be. So we're going to do we try and do questions and just ask questions. I know some of them don't sound like questions, but they are. And then we say comments. I'll try and take a little bit more of a pause so y'all can follow along. We'll get it eventually.
So under the village code, there's a very specific definition of really more what is not considered artwork, which is what is within the purview of the AIPP. And one of the items that is excluded, it says directional elements such as signage or graphics. So under the way our code is currently written, I don't think that could fall under the AIPP.
Can you withdraw?
All right, and then I'd like to amend my motion.
Okay.
Which is to refer the benches to the AIPP for their input in terms of artistic design.
Thank you. Does that qualify?
It looks like that wouldn't either, because it also excludes objects that are mass-produced in a standard design. Our benches are definitely mass-produced, and
Okay. All right.
I mean, what it does include is sculptures, murals, monuments, frescoes, mountains, paintings, stained glass, or ceramics. And may include architectural designs depending on what it is, but it can't be included in signage, though.
Okay. So can you withdraw it?
I'll withdraw it.
Thank you. And Andrea, whoa. Nice job. Good catch, I should say. Yeah, Vice Mayor?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to direct the administration to come back to us at a later time with a text code amendment about related to signage and benches for art and public places, and also come back to us, and also with discussion and consultation with the AIPP, to come back to us with ideas on the 136th Street and Old Cutler Road entrance sign there. That'd be my motion. It's separate from this item.
Second.
Okay. Are there questions? I have a question. So you're saying 136th Street and Old Cutler Road?
Yes, for that, and also the program overall for benches and signs, to come back with consultation from the AIPP on all of that, and also come back if a code amendment is needed to bring that to council as well.
Correct, but not related to this item? Because the
Correct.
signs
This is
we're talking
separate.
about are on US 1.
This is a separate motion unrelated to the
Okay.
item.
All right, there's a motion, there's been a second, is that right? Is there other, does anyone have any questions first? I'm trying to be clear with Carla so that we're able to indicate when we have comments, and this would include comments even if it were on the motion. So we're still on questions. Anyone have questions? Okay, we're going to do comments or discussion. And Carla, I've been saying discussion, but it's comments, so Councilmember Cody is on the clock.
Talk about pressure. I don't think that we need to refer this to the Art and Public Places. And frankly, taking it up now as sort of this appendix, I think it would be better served to come back to us by way of a resolution so that we could actually consider it and vote on it, as opposed to just trying to put words in a balloon over our heads like cartoon characters. So I'm not going to support the item. I think, though, that if you want to bring it back for our April meeting, that certainly is appropriate. And end of my comment.
And I'm just playing with the clocks here on, okay, no, it's fine now. Thank you. Vice Mayor is making comments.
Sure, so I'll start with, this is just a fact-finding item. This is not an item that will have any teeth. All I'm asking is for information to come back to council from administration. That's all. And secondly, we barely got through this meeting and you couldn't help yourself with a comment. It's unfortunate.
Okay, we're not gonna get into that, please. Are there other comments? We're on the motion. All those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Nay. Okay, so the motion fails. We're back, and it wasn't even related to this item, but we're back on the item. Is there anything else we can discuss or comment on? Okay,
I have a comment.
okay, a comment?
I actually like the signs that we have now, and I don't like this. I don't like how it looks. It's just plain. It doesn't say anything distinctive about Palmetto Bay. I do not recall our discussing this as a council, the design of the signs. Did we have a discussion on that?
Question is, so we're on comments, and I think we just should stay right there on comments.
All right, I don't recall having any discussion about the design, which I do not like. I don't think it's distinctive. It doesn't say anything about Palmetto Bay. I like what we have now, frankly. I think it's really pretty. So that's my comment. I'm not going to support this.
I would just say, and this is comments by Mayor Cunningham, I would just say one sign was hit by a car and is gone. So that's on 136th Street and US 1. not there. Is there a sign on the other end of town? And there's no sign on the other end of town, so it's not a replacement. These are, well, one would be a replacement, it's gone, and the other would be a new sign, is what I'm understanding. All right, I'm all done with my comments. Is there anything else? Okay, this is a resolution. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Opposed. Okay, the item passes 4-1. Moving right along. I see these young ladies here. Is this for the farmer's market? Yes, okay. That is, bear with me one second. Which item is it? I see it, 14A, which we were getting ready to do 14A anyway. So could somebody move 14A?
Move it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, can you please read the item?
A resolution of the mayor and village council of the village of Palmetto Bay, Florida, related to procurement, approving the selection of blank to manage and operate a farmer's market at Coral Reef Park pursuant to request for a proposal 2026-12-003, authorizing the manager to enter into contract for said services and providing for an effective date. This resolution is sponsored by administration and prepared by procurement specialist Alessia Bencomo.
Very good. Public comment? None? Comment by form? Am I interrupting? Comment by form? No, okay, thank you. Okay, is everything okay? Are you just rereading something? Help me out here, please.
Ma'am, Madam Mayor, what had originally happened, based on the intent of the village council to get a new operator for the farmer's market up and running as quick as possible, our bid closed Friday. The agenda was due to be published Monday. The selection committee did not meet until Wednesday after the agenda was due to be published. That's why the resolution that was included in the agenda was blank. If you remember, the village clerk did send out an updated agenda item to include not only an updated resolution, but all the backup material to each one of the council members. And I just respectfully ask that we read that caption.
Okay, thank you. I understand better now. I wasn't sure what was happening. As soon as the clerk is ready, she will read that caption. I think she's got it now.
Thank you for your patience. Oh, thank you. A resolution of the mayor and village council of the village of Palmetto Bay, Florida, related to procurement, approving the selection of MG Productions, LLC, to manage and operate a farmer's market at Coral Reef Park pursuant to request for proposal 2026-12-003, and authorizing the village manager to enter into a contract for said services and providing for an effective date. This resolution is sponsored by administration and prepared by Alessia Bencomo, procurement specialist. Thank you for your patience.
Madam Mayor, point of order.
Yes.
Mr. Attorney, do we need to substitute in what the clerk just read for what she first read in order to keep our procedures?
Yeah, I would amend since that wasn't on the agenda as written, or as read, I would make a motion to amend the agenda and then move forward just for
I make that motion to...
Second.
Okay, there's a motion, there's a second. Is there any discussion on it? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right. Look, it all turned out fine. All right, come on up for staff report.
Good evening, Mayor and Village Council. Alessia Bencomo, Procurement Specialist. This RFP was advertised on January 20th. The village received 6 proposals on February 20th, and MG Productions was the highest scored and most responsive and responsible proposer. If approved in tonight's meeting, the agreement will be for 2 years with 3 one-year renewal options.
All right, thank you. Questions? Vice Mayor?
Yeah, so can the administration just confirm that the Youth Entrepreneurship Vending Program is included in the RFP? I saw it in section 4.01. I just wanted to get triple clarity tonight, given the back and forth. Perfect, thank you. Second question is that I know the village has had this farmer's market for a long time with established vendors. I just wanted to make sure that the new vendor has some kind of communication plan or transition plan with our existing vendors so they can be plugged in well to the market. I'm wondering if the administration had any back and forth with those vendors or our proposed vendor here to facilitate that transition, what that will look like for the vendors there.
Good evening again, Mayor and Council, Fanny Carmona. So I have not had a conversation with our vendors. Ever since this bid was released, there was a cone of silence. So I don't think I was able to, but if this item is passed tonight, I'd be happy to speak to our new vendor and see if they have a plan to include them.
Sure, I would appreciate that. Last thing is, I'm wondering with the fee, I think it was in the range of $2,000 something. I just wanted to make sure that the rent is high enough to include the staff time, maintenance, and public safety costs that are associated with our farmers market.
That's what they're proposing to us. I haven't done the math on how much staff and other associated costs with the farmers market. It is during regular hours of operation, so staff is already there.
Sure. From your perspective, is there any additional maintenance or, for example, cleanup that's needed from the farmers market then?
Hasn't been in the past.
Got it. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you. Are there other questions? All right, then we're going to go into comments and pause, and then gently move to somebody. We're going to Councilwoman Mattson. I'm trying hard here, Carla. Go ahead, comments.
All right, I noticed in the information for MG that they have partnered in the past or have provided animal services, the county animal services, to come over with their mobile unit with pets for adoption. And I would like to make an amendment that this be added to the contract, that the vendor is to partner with county animal services, support and promote the village's Adopt a Pet initiative.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion, there's a second. Questions? Yes.
Just to administration, would it be better if that's amended onto this current resolution now, or should we direct you to try and negotiate with the vendor after approval to include that? Would that be better?
I would recommend the latter, that direct, because it was not part of the RFP, or it was not part of the procurement package. So I think the latter would be the best approach.
I would either myself move to amend it, or would the councilman be willing to accept that as a friendly amendment?
I accept it as a friendly amendment.
Perfect. Thank you. That's all.
Okay, are there any more questions? Okay, then we're going to go into comments, and I'm going to start with Councilmember. You look like you might want to say something. No?
I have nothing.
Okay, we're on the motion. So all those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nay. All right, so that motion fails. We're back on the item, unamended. Are there other comments we want to make about the item? I think we've asked all of our questions. Vice Mayor?
Yeah, I mean, the only concern I have is I just felt like 2,000 is a little bit low. I don't know what the comparables are for other municipalities. I would appreciate some clarity. I'm going to support the item tonight only because I want that farmer's market up and running, but I'm just hoping for the future, if there's a way to understand a little bit more what we can get from those markets, that'd be great, because, I mean, I know that there's some very expensive vendors there that charge like $15 for a lunch there. So I think $2,000 is relatively low, especially when they also turn over the space to sub-vendors. And I don't know if we can get more, negotiate more. This is obviously what staff came back with, so I'm comfortable with the item, but would like to see a change at some point in the future. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Other comments? The mayor will make comments now, Carla. They'll be super quick comments. Great job. Mr. Manager, great job. I know just in the few weeks, a couple of months that the farmer's market hasn't been there, it's left a huge void in the community. People reach out all the time. You made a promise. We were going to have a special council meeting in April, but you moved it along. So appreciate, and let's take a vote if there's nothing else. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Very good. Welcome home. Awesome. We're moving on to item, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. That was A. And we did B.
14C.
Thank you. All right, we're in C. Thank you. For item 14C, would somebody move item 14C?
Move it. Second.
Is there a second? Madam Clerk, can you please read the item?
A resolution of the Mayor and Village Council of the Village of Palmetto Bay, Florida, affirming support for the preservation of the Miami-Dade Urban Development Boundary, UDB, as it currently exists to protect downstream water resources, including the Biscayne Aquifer, regional groundwater supplies, and connected coastal waters, as well as the Everglades wetlands. Urging the Miami-Dade County Board of County Commissioners to uphold County Mayor Daniela Levine Cava's veto of the proposed development outside the UDB. Urging the Florida State Legislature to oppose any legislation that would weaken the UDB in the Miami-Dade County Charter. Encouraging advancement of attainable and workforce housing within the UDB to address housing affordability without expanding development into sensitive lands. Designing the preservation of the UDB as a state legislative priority for the Village of Palmetto Bay. Directing the clerk to transmit a copy of the resolution to the Miami-Dade Mayor, each member of the Miami-Dade County Board of County Commissioners, the Speaker of the Florida House of Representatives, the President of the Florida Senate, the Miami-Dade State Legislative Delegation, and other municipalities within Miami-Dade County, and the village's state legislative lobbyists. This resolution is sponsored by Mayor Karen Cunningham and co-sponsored by Vice Mayor Mark Meritzer.
Thank you. I want everyone to take note of this monumental moment when the mayor and vice mayor are sponsoring and co-sponsoring an item, and I am passing the gavel to District 1. Dun, dun, dun. There you go. Sorry. Don't worry, you just bang it wherever you need to bang.
Okay, thank you, Madam Mayor. Do we have any public comment on this? Any public comment out there? Anything at all? Go ahead, Ms. Gerald.
Bev Gerald, 14271 Southwest 74th Court. I could not agree more with this. We have to preserve our lands that affect our water supply. And not only that, building outside the urban development boundary is, it's not a good idea. This last year was the date that the actual UDB was in place, was due to expire. And of course, all the developers are lining up like crazy. And it really needs to be supported strongly. We have to understand what's at stake here. I'm sure all of us who have been driving south, you could see projects that are going up within the urban development boundary, but they're all stressing our water supplies. So, you know, we have to think about this, and I appreciate the co-sponsorship of Mayor Cunningham and Vice Mayor Mark Meritzer, and I urge all of you to please strongly support this. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
LaSalle Chankachith, 7740 Southwest 177th Street. I'm standing up here as a resident as well as chair of the Resiliency Committee, and I definitely agree with that. I would like to urge the council to pass this. This is for the health of our community, our resilience for our community as well, and we're already in a drought, and we know that there are other things that are affecting our water sources. And my husband would kill me for this because I know he's an AI specialist, but we definitely do not want to have any more stresses on our water sources that are going to be affected. And we don't know what the future holds and what will happen to the state of Florida when we encounter other issues that might be affecting our water resources. So definitely please pass this bill. Thank you.
Thank you. That's the end of public comment. Do we have any comments by form, Madam Clerk?
No comments received by form.
Okay, so this is co-sponsored by the Vice Mayor and the Mayor, so I will, Vice Mayor Merwitzer?
I'll yield to the
Okay,
mayor.
he's yielding to you, Madam Mayor. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Vice Mayor. I'm going to keep my comments brief. The item's super simple. Thank you for the support. It turns out that the Vice Mayor and I actually submitted items probably within a day of each other. We would have no way of knowing that. The village attorney and manager saw the two items come in, one almost behind the other, and mentioned to the Vice Mayor to support. I know you might have some amendments to the oh, okay, great. Wow. No, it's great. This really, the item is super simple. It just encourages the mayor to go ahead and do the veto. I don't think economic strength and environmental stewardship are separate priorities. They can be one and the same. I did just have the opportunity to attend, Chamber South hosted the Everglades Foundation. They talked about Everglades restoration as it's connected with our economy, quite frankly, and the resources, obviously, that the Everglades brings in, which in part, obviously, in a large part, is fresh water. So, super simple. We don't support development past the UDB. I mean, just stop already. They've already made changes. No more, no more. We can't, the Everglades can't afford it. Our communities can't afford it. So in this way, we would be supporting the mayor.
Madam Mayor, I was waiting to say this all night. The clock was running.
You know, but look at, I still have 8 minutes and 27 seconds.
I'm impressed. Mr. Merwitzer?
Yeah, so second everything you just said. The other thing that I would point to as well is that I want to take a second to thank our County Commissioner, Danielle Cohen-Higgins, for being one of, I think, either 2 votes or 3 votes against this. And that coalition is slowly growing with other commissioners. I heard Commissioner Regalado is also coming around on this, which is excellent. So fingers crossed that once this gets back to the commission, it will have the votes to sustain that veto. This is incredibly important. The reason why I put it on the agenda was because development outside the UDB has a direct impact on the residents here in Palmetto Bay in multiple ways. Water quality, the resident mentioned that. But more importantly to me, the number one complaint that I get is traffic. The development way far away, where people have to drive an hour and a half to get to work, those are the cut-through commuter traffic that we experience here in Palmetto Bay. And the more we sprawl out and go into the UDB, the more we get of that kind of traffic, and it causes problems for us here. So really important item. Last thing I would also just mention as well was that there is a bill in Tallahassee. I believe this already kind of covers it because it directs state priorities as well about anything related to the UDB. There is a bill that is sponsored by, I think, Representative Barrero that requests a study on eliminating entirely the UDB. So I would love to ensure that our lobbyist is aware of that so that hopefully, I don't know what kind of work would be needed. I doubt it. We could probably get it because it's not similar to the infill bill that we discussed earlier. But that's just something else I wanted to flag because that is a critical priority here. And the last thing we need is for the state legislature to come in and tell Miami-Dade County how to handle its own affairs with the UDB. So really hope we can all support this. I would be shocked if it fails, but thank you again to the mayor. Thank you to Cohen-Higgins. Thank you to the Mayor Cava for doing this. And I appreciate this as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. Any questions for the sponsors from Dr. Mattson or Mr. Cody? None? Any comments? No comments? Madam Mayor, go ahead and finish up.
Thank you. And just as a follow-up, I just wanted to mention that the item will be transmitted to the Miami-Dade County Mayor. Each member of the Miami-Dade County Board of County Commissioners, the Speaker of the Florida House of Representatives, the President of Florida Senate, Miami-Dade Legislative Delegation, and all the other municipalities, including our village lobbyists, and the Executive Director of Miami-Dade League of Cities.
Thank you. Seeing that this is a very important resolution, Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Mayor Karen Cunningham,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mark Meritzer,
Yes.
Councilmember Patrick Fiore,
Yes.
Councilmember Steve Cody,
Yes.
Councilmember Marsha Matson.
Yes.
Resolution passes unanimously. I will now proceed to hand the gavel back to Mayor Cunningham.
Thank you. Ms. Carla, I just wanted to mention, when I was speaking the second time, we don't restart. It would just go down from there. I was mentioning it. All right, awesome. You're doing a great job, too, back there. Thank you. All right, the next item is item D. Would someone move that?
Move it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, can you please read the item?
A resolution of the Village Council of the Village of Palmetto Bay, Florida, establishing the Clean Paws Program, a voluntary community dog waste bag dispenser program, authorizing the manager to implement the program, allocating $5,000 for the purchase and installation of bag dispensers, refill bags, and program signage, and providing for an effective date. This resolution is sponsored by Vice Mayor Mark Meritzer.
Is there public comment? I see one. And then do we have comments by form, Madam Clerk?
No comments by form.
Thank you.
felt like it was playing red light, green light there for a minute. Karen Bice Wallace, 7380 Southwest 141st Terrace. My only request is that when you're putting out for bid on the quality of the bag, is just to make sure that they're compostable and that they're environmentally safe, especially since we're so close to the water. If something were to go flying, we don't want to make sure that our marine life is protected. That would be my only request. Thank you so much. I think this is great because I do like to do grounding every so often, and walking around and stepping on something is never pleasant, so people should clean up after the pets, and I think that this is really reinforcing that behavior, so thank you.
Thank you. Vice Mayor.
Sure, before I open, I'll just make that motion now before I forget to add to this item the compostable bags. So that'll be my amendment, and that's a motion.
Thank you. Does he need it's his item. Do we vote on it?
Yes, since the motion's been laid on the table, it belongs to the...
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or anything about it? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right.
Cool. So I want to start by thanking the administration with our village manager and village attorney. We went back and forth on this a couple of times, and I appreciate the discussion on it, and I greatly appreciate the willingness to discuss this. So why did I bring this? Honestly, because when I walk my dog Quincy around the neighborhood, I see some yard signs in my own neighborhood. There's actually quite a few of them. Some of them mention things like, quote, "Smile, you're on camera, please pick up after your dog," to just regular signs that say, "Hey, please pick up after your dog." And I get it, no one wants to have poop in their yard, but I think part of being neighborly is recognizing that sometimes, myself included, I forget my bags. So if the bags were there and there's a post, it's a lot harder to just walk away and not clean up after your dog. It eliminates all the excuses, so it'll be there. This is also a voluntary program, so no one's going to be getting one of these installed in front of their front house one morning out of nowhere. The property owner is going to have to sign off, which I think is the way to do it because you get that buy-in. On the enforcement side, I spoke to a couple of residents offline about this. Some of them mentioned concerns about enforcement. We obviously have code enforcement, which has been stepping up in some areas recently on this, which is great, but I feel like this eliminates the need for them in the first place oftentimes. So with that, it's a cheap and practical way of addressing a real problem that people are complaining about, and it's also a neighborly thing to do. So hope to have your support. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to ask just a couple questions. I support the item, but if you'd hear me out, and I'll make it in the form of a question. So, I can't, who, what, when, where, why. I got to try and use one of those words at the beginning. Here's my concern, and then my question. Is it possible that you would consider just making a start like around our public green spaces up to a certain amount. I'm trying to address a residential concern. Let's say I want one, okay? And I reach out to the manager and just say, hi, I'm interested in getting one of these. You know, it's a post. It's got to be something with a bag and a garbage can of some sort, or no garbage can, just a post with a bag on it. And it's in my yard. I live on a street, I live on 72nd Court, there's no sidewalks, there's a lot of dog walking there. What if some of my neighbors are like, oh, now she's got this post in the middle of her yard, it looks like another sign. My area is very sign conscious. So is it possible that we could, rather than making it Clean Paws program where residents make a request or apply for this, the post with the bags, and then I'm assuming they're kind of responsible for that as well, that we just install them in locations where a lot of people walk dogs, like Palmetto Bay Park, for example, comes to mind because all the apartment buildings there, people are walking dogs. If there were the posts there with the sign, I would even support having a garbage can if it was at our public parks and ask for some kind of pickup program. So I don't know if you would potentially consider that. That's just my thought.
So 2 things. The first is, I get it with the signs. My thinking was that if there's space next to the mailbox, you could put it there because it blends, some of the signs blend in really well with the mailbox and it's not really noticeable where it'll just be in the middle of your yard. I feel like that'd be a really awkward place to put that sort of thing. So if it's next to a mailbox, it's a lot less noticeable. The second thing is I'm open to the pilot program that you're mentioning. I just don't know where it would go on village property. And the reason why I say that is I believe Coral Reef Park is already a dog-free zone. I believe Palmetto Bay Park is a dog-free zone, so those are our 2 parks right off the bat that most people could go to with a pet perpetually. I don't think they are already doing that anyway. So I don't really know where on village property we'd be able to put this, if that's your suggestion.
I'm going to, I guess, respond. We're still in questions, but, well, this is a comment. I think people, especially at Palmetto Bay Park, on the outskirts, you're right, they shouldn't be walking their dog inside. Maybe the post and the bags would encourage them, oh, I can walk my dog there. I don't know. But if it ran on the easement, like at Coral Reef Park, I see a lot of people walking their dogs around, there's a sidewalk there, so they walk their dog around the park. And then we would be able to monitor it rather than, I don't know. I'm kind of opposed. I like the item, but I'm opposed to seeing these signs, these posts popping up randomly just because one resident wants it, and I've got 10 neighbors' houses on my street, so because I want it doesn't mean they want to see it. That's my only concern. And I'm asking the questions, but I don't know if there's a possibility for that.
Madam Mayor, if I understand your comment, if I could, I think you're proposing to do a pilot program on the perimeter of our parks and other village-owned properties. I don't see that being very difficult at all to do. Matter of fact, I've looked on Amazon, a couple other places, and there are the exact signs and bag dispensers that I have seen other local governments procure and use around parks. If that's something the village council wants to do, I think it would be pretty easy for us to actually do that. If you want to do it as written in the resolution in front of you, we could have these available, and we would have to have a program, and residents would have to notify us that they want one, and we'd go out and install them. And then I'm assuming we would service the bags on a routine basis. But either way, I think it's the pleasure of the council what you want to do here.
I'm sorry, yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'm open to the pleasure of the council on this. My preference would be, I guess, to amend it then so that it's just next to a mailbox and you can't just put it in the middle of someone's yard, because I think that would, I agree with you, that would look pretty ugly. But if it's next to a mailbox, there's already something out in the yard anyway, and if it's right there, I think that would aesthetically blend in quite well. So I don't think it'd be too much of a problem there. But again, it's up to the pleasure of the council on it. My preference is that we just put it next to mailboxes, but if you want to start it off in parks, that's fine too. Up to the council.
Okay, well, I'd like to hear from other folks, if you're okay with that. I'm open to making a motion, but I'm not quite sure where to begin. I do love the program, though. I think it's necessary. Are there other questions, or is there, yes?
I think your suggestion is good, and I also think individual homeowners requesting it as well is good. So yes, I support both of these things. I think the more opportunity we have for people to be responsible, and I think most of the time they are, but sometimes you do forget the bag. So it'd be very nice, I think it'd be a nice service for the public to have dog poop bags and posts situated around the village.
Now, I will also mention that, and you can start my timer again. I will also mention that, like in my neighborhood, when I think about the streets, I think there's only one neighbor in maybe several blocks that has a mailbox at the street. Like my mailbox is up next to my door, so I wouldn't, if I wanted one, I wouldn't qualify for it.
Yeah, so my understanding is those mailboxes at the door are like things people are hanging on to for dear life, because the USPS says that if you ever do anything to your mailbox, you have to put it out on the street anyway. So eventually that problem will fix itself probably in 20 or 30 years from now. But I think I'm fine with limiting it to people with mailboxes only. And that's the whole intent, is like I don't want the sign to be in the middle of someone's yard, because I don't think that blends in well, but next to a mailbox is fine. So I'll go ahead and make the motion now to allow the poop bags to only be placed within, let's call it 5 feet of a mailbox.
I'll second it. So the motion essentially is that it would be houses that have mailboxes at the street level, and it has to be within 5 feet of the mailbox, for everyone that's wondering. Is there, yes?
Just one point of clarification, is it's 5 feet of the requesting property owner's mailbox?
Yes.
Okay, just for clarification purpose. Thank you.
And if I could ask the manager on this motion, is this a problem for you that, I mean, you're going to have to install it, so when you get out there, if there's not a mailbox on the street, you'll have to tell the resident they don't qualify.
You're correct, Madam Mayor. No, is there a problem? I mean, well, we can accomplish this. I mean.
Okay. So we're on a motion. The motion was made by the Vice Mayor. It was seconded by me. Is there any questions or comments on them? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Nay. Okay. The motion passes 4-1. This is just for the amendment. Madam Clerk, are you okay with, yes, very good. All right. Yes, Vice Mayor.
Yeah, I also have one more amendment. It was something I thought of after I submitted the item, but I'm also wondering to the manager, he can answer the question if you'd like. I'd also like to include part of that $5,000 budget. I've seen people walk around with those leashes that have like the bags on the leash itself. Could the village procure those and give them out at Village Hall or at events as well, so that we can encourage that behavior more?
We have looked at that, and yes, within the context of the budget, that whatever you authorize here, assuming that you're going to pass this, within the context of that, yeah, they're relatively inexpensive. You can come up with those compostable bags in a dispenser that someone can clip on their leash, and we can purchase a number of them and have available, certainly.
I'll make that motion then to add that to the item.
Okay, there's a motion second. can we, are you open to, rather than just having some here for pickup, that we use them? I know the picnic's happening now, so that's probably not practical, but at the next, where they're given out at an event, perhaps a wiener event? Or, I said it, you heard it here.
That was the intent of my motion in the first place, so yes.
Promotion, as a promotional
Yeah,
item for parks for the future.
Exactly, my intent as well, I don't know if it's possible, but it would also be nice to put some village branding on it too. I don't know if we can do that, but it's entirely your discretion, but I'll just make that comment. I'm not gonna make it part of the motion, but it would just be nice to do that too, so.
Okay, so
That's
the motion is buying the little bag things that people can clip onto their leash, using for promotional. If it works out, you can get a logo, great. If not, not a problem. And we distribute them at an upcoming event within the confines of the $5,000. All right, we're on the motion. Can we just vote on that first? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. I'm going to hold off on motioning regarding a pilot project or pilot program around the parks. We can figure, so let's see how this goes, and we can always figure that out later. Is there anything else on this particular item? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Madam Clerk, just correct me. We did vote on the motion. Now we voted on the item as amended. All right, very good. Moving on. Item E. Would somebody move that forward?
Move it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, can you please read the item?
A resolution of the Mayor and Village Council of the Village of Palmetto Bay proclaiming Wienerfest and providing activities for dogs and residents at a special event at Perrine Wayside Dog Park to invite participation of Miami-Dade County Animal Services for pet adoption and educational outreach, to promote the village's Adopt a Pet initiative and providing for an effective date. This resolution is sponsored by Councilmember Marsha Madsen.
Thank you. Public comment? Do we have comments by form?
By form.
Thank you.
Bev Gerald, 14271 Southwest 74th Court. I think this is a great idea. And of course, the sponsor adopted a dog from Animal Services, so she feels very strongly about having events that are conducive to people coming and possibly adopting a dog. And plus having activities for people. You know, people love their dogs. So I don't have one now, but I get to babysit some dogs once in a while. So I think this is a great idea. I hope you support it. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Sally Chinkich, 7740 Southwest 177th Street. I just have one question that might not be able to answer, but I'm not sure if the Perrine Wayside Park is the one that is just south of 160th Street. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
My only concern with it, I love the event idea. I have a dog myself. We lost a dog that raised our kids last Christmas, and we are still feeling her loss, and ended up getting 4 cats, so to replace her. But I was just curious because that space is very small and limited. Is parking something that's going to be addressed? Because there's a lot of residential. I think it's a wonderful idea to have that event, but is that something that will something I would be concerned about more than anything else, because parking is limited from US 1 as well, and also on the other side of the park. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, very good. Councilwoman Madsen.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I put this item on request by a resident who does have a dachshund and had gone to an event in Key Largo and just loved it and told me about what a wonderful community event it was. But I wanted to make sure it was for more dogs, just not dachshunds, although they're really fun and cute dogs. So I thought that naming it Wienerfest would be more interesting and attractive to people who wanted to come over. But it's not just for that particular breed of dog. So this is a fun event for dogs and residents, and it promotes the Village Adopt a Pet initiative, which the council passed a few months ago. And it showcases our beautiful dog park that's ranked as one of the top dog parks in the county. And I suggested a couple of dates in here. They're not hard and fast, but this was to accommodate the resident who's an accountant who can only attend the event with his dachshund after taxes are due. In terms of having it to respond to the resident who inquired about the parking, we have freebie. People can take freebie. And we now have 4 freebies, so they can be busy in the freebie, using the freebie. And also there is parking behind. I mean, they have to go to the street behind and park there, behind the dog park. So I hope that you all go for this. I know we have precedents here in the village. Back June 23rd, 2018, there was a dog event at Coral Reef Park, and another response I would like to give you in terms of how many people attended that, there were 100 people attending that. So I actually think that the dog park could accommodate people if they take freebie. So I'm hoping that you all pass this. I think it'll be a fun event, and it'll be a lighthearted thing for residents and their babies, furry babies. Thank you.
Thank you. A quick question from me, and I do share concerns about the parking. As a matter of fact, I know I've spoken with many residents in the area over the course of time that get concerned when cars park along that backside. And as a matter of fact, if I'm recalling correctly, I think there's no parking signs in part of that back area. Would you potentially consider, and I know I get it, the dog park, promoting the dog park, but would you potentially consider hosting when we do the Battle of the Buns? I just actually thought it would be funny because it's the Wienerfest and the Battle of the Buns, but no, but I'm saying that because it's an event, I think it's a part of an existing event, our existing event calendar, and therefore it could get folded into an existing event. I mean, we've already passed our budget. I'm just thinking of the money, parking, and could we, I like the idea. I think it's kind of cute, to be honest with you, but I just would, is that something you would consider? Because we're asking questions, so.
Do you know when that event is?
Director Carmona, if you can hear us, if you can come out for Battle of the Buns.
Is that in Coral Reef Park?
It's at Coral Reef Park,
Okay.
but I don't think there's any harm in having we've done it before, the adoption truck and people. And for some events like the farmer's market, we're allowed to bring our pets to the park. Come on up and you can just hit it. She asked, Councilwoman Mattson asked if we knew when the Battle of the Buns are. Or
I think it's April 25th, I think.
April 25th?
I think so. I'm not sure.
Okay, so it's in April. That's great.
Give me 1 second. Let me
Yes,
just
no worries. Yeah, I'm sorry, I should have asked prior, but I just thought of it now.
That's one of the dates that I
know, yeah.
proposed. That would be great.
Let's see what she says. Well, while she's looking for that, are there other questions? No? Yes, sir.
Question?
Yes.
Okay. Would you consider moving this to Palmetto Bay Park? Because we have a facility where, in the event of bad weather, the item or the event could be moved inside there so people could see the pets that they would want to adopt.
Well, we're opening up, I understand your concern, we are opening up our new multipurpose room in Coral Reef Park so they could still come there and be protected from the weather.
Right, but you're talking about doing it at the dog bark.
Well, no, I haven't made a statement about that, but I've been nodding my head and agreeing with the mayor that I think it's a good idea to coordinate it with Battle of the Buns at Coral Reef Park.
Would you also consider choosing another name other than Wienerfest? I can tell you that having raised 3 boys.
Right there, please. We get it. Thank you.
No, just maybe, and maybe expanding it to not just dogs, but dogs and cats.
Okay, I don't have a problem if you can come up with a name that's attracting, that would be attractive to people to come over and bring their dogs for this. I don't have an objection to deleting that name and substituting a better one. And in terms of dogs and cats, I don't think that's a good idea. Dogs and cats don't really get along. I think it should just be a dog event, especially in light of the fact that there would be activities for dogs, and we all know cats don't really do activities like races and so on.
Right, well, how about Palmetto Bay Paws Adoption Fest?
I think we did confirm that the Battle of the Buns is on April 25th. It also includes, it's a concert, right? I mean, I ate a lot of hamburgers. I went last year. It's April 25th, just FYI.
Great, that'd be perfect. All right, so I would like to move then that the event be held at Coral Reef Park and be coordinated with Battle of the Buns on April 25th, 2026.
Second.
All right, are there questions? And Madam Clerk, are you good? And will that work for you, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't know, I seriously don't know. We'll look at it and see how we can incorporate that. My only concern is dogs and food. Some dogs don't like, to share food, or they fight for food. I'm just a little concerned about that, but if that's the wish of, the wish of this council, we'll make it work.
And perhaps it could be in a little bit of a different, not right by the concert and right by the Battle of the Buns contest, but moved over a little bit. We've got a big park space. I don't know exactly the setup, so I don't.
We'll look at it and we'll see how we can incorporate it.
All right. So, I'm sorry. Did we have a motion?
The motion was to move it to Dog Park, or move it to Coral Reef Park, coordinate it with Battle of the Buns on April 25th, 2026.
And Vice Mayor seconded it. Okay. Are there questions or comments on that? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right. So we're back on the Wienerfest item as it has been amended.
Madam Mayor, I would make a motion to amend, to change the name to Palmetto Bay Paws Adoption Fest.
Okay, there's a motion. I'll second it for the purposes of discussion. Yes, Vice Mayor?
I think if the purpose is attendance and getting people to talk about it, I think the existing name is fine. And also, hot dogs are technically called wieners, so it's totally fine. Whatever the imagination of teenagers are, I don't think we should be trying to, brand around that. People are going to make comments about it regardless, but that's actually, in my view, what you want, because that will get people to talk about it and get people to come and adopt a dog. So that's fine to me. And it's funny.
It's funny.
I think everyone up here is laughing about it. I mean, I like it, so we're good.
Okay. Is there other discussion on the motion? All right, then, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Nay. All right, Mr. Manager, you're
Madam Mayor,
chomping at the bit to say something.
if I may recommend a very playful name,
Yes.
the Bownanza.
Move it.
Just putting it out there.
Move it.
It's kind of cute, too. That's kind of cute. I think it sounds like Wienerfest is going to stay. All right, is there anything, no. All right, can we vote on the item then, as it has been amended? All those in favor? Oh, hold on. Okay, well, you guys you'll figure it out. Yeah, so, all those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed?
Nay.
All right, Battle of the Buns and Wienerfest it is. All right, we have one more item. I'm keeping one eye on the clock, as we all should, and it's the item that we added, which is 14F. Would somebody move that item?
Move.
Wait, your item, Madam Mayor?
I'm just, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, 14G was added to consent.
It's on the consent? Okay, we have no more items. All right, thank you for that. Yeah, thank you, forgot about that. All right, wow, 11 minutes to spare. Does anyone want to use their 10 minutes to chat? There's a motion that the Vice Mayor would like to make. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is part of other business. I move that the Village Council direct the Village Manager and Village Attorney to create a litigation transparency page placed prominently on the front page of the Village website within 14 days, posting all legal invoices and staff time estimates related to Stephen Cody v. Mark Merwitzer et al., including costs associated with the newly filed motion for rehearing, and a copy of the order of dismissal, to update the page monthly so residents can see the running total cost to taxpayers as this litigation continues, and to share the link to this page on all Village social media platforms. That is my motion.
All right, that is your motion.
Second.
There's a second. Questions? Discussion?
Madam Mayor, you know, Mr. Merwitzer, you were doing real good right up until then. We had a real good meeting tonight. I'm not going to vote for that.
Is there other comments? Okay, let's vote.
Roll call vote, please.
Okay, Madam Clerk, go ahead and call the roll.
Vice Mayor Mark Merwitzer,
Yes.
Councilmember Steve Cody,
No.
Councilmember Patrick Fiori,
No.
Mayor Karen Cunningham,
No, because the information's already on the website. Thank you.
Councilmember Marsha Matson.
Yes.
All right, the item fails. Are there council comments? All right, our next meeting is April 6th. And with that, say goodnight, Palmetto Bay.